What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Tom.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Dean.
We have a very special guest, a familiar face. I don't got to intro him like I did the last time. The host of the Pick a Side podcast and the Moran show, Moran.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's going to be a great episode. NFL playoff predictions. This is the best time of the year. I got some nice upset picks. I'm interested to know where you guys are leaning. I've heard some things about this podcast that, you know, it's not favorable to the Broncos. That's all I'm going to say.
It's
goddamn right.
Where'd you hear that from?
Yo,
Who spilled?
I stumbled upon one of your shows, and one of the comments was like, "Yeah, of course these guys want to give the Broncos a credit." And I was like, "Okay, maybe these are my type of guys."
Yo, Drew hit us up in the DMs, and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck is up with this Bo Nix disrespect?" And I'm just like, "Yo, he doesn't play good football. Like, do we watch the same games? And some of it's definitely Sean Payton, but like, he's ass. He's been ass. Call a spade a spade."
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. In your time doing this, what fan base is number one in the fan base that you just like? Do you dislike the most? Maybe because they're just the most annoying.
That we dislike?
They're
The Giants.
yeah. You dislike the most. It's just
guy.
like, man, whenever these fans are so delusional. I don't like them.
Delusion. Oh, the worst fan base. Honestly, it might actually be the Broncos.
I was going to say the Broncos or the
I
Eagles.
can't lie.
The Eagles won the Super Bowl, so like that's tough, but
The Broncos are a good one. The Seahawks fans are always on our ass for disrespecting them, but low-key, like, they proved us wrong. So I
Yeah.
can't even be mad at them. They win. They win this round. But Broncos are probably the one. The Broncos fans are always on our ass.
Broncos fans are the worst, bro. The worst.
Yeah, Broncos fans on Twitter, they're really bad. It's like an ongoing joke on Twitter that a lot of Broncos fans like accounts are like, man, do they really believe he's like on Drake May's level?
Yes.
Like, do they really believe like Bo Nix is as good as these other guys? And who knows? You know, maybe he proves us wrong in the playoffs.
The Colts
Another fan- I
fans
think-
were annoying to us early on in the season because we were super low on them.
I think Baltimore Ravens fans are up there
Yes.
too. They're very
Yeah.
like ride or die for Lamar Jackson. He throws 3 interceptions. They're like, hey, listen, none of them were his fault.
They're pooping on us right now. We titled our pod on Monday, Lamar Jackson chokes again. And they're in our comments shitting on us.
Yeah. He played well to end the game,
He
but
did.
you know, that interception, I got a lot of flack for what I said on Twitter about it.
I mean,
Ravens fans.
when you hold the Steelers to 3 points in the first half and you can't capitalize and you finish that half with 10 points, bro, you got to do more. I mean, the Steelers couldn't get a first down. You got to set yourself apart a little bit, man.
Yeah, no. I think you guys are pretty spot on. Like, for me, the fan bases would probably be the Broncos, the Eagles, and I'm trying to think of who else. The Ravens are up there. Maybe that's like it. I don't know if like
To be fair,
there's probably other ones, but
Eagles fans
at the
have
end of the
every
day,
right.
like any fans, bro, if you say something bad about their team, they're gonna be mad.
100%.
Eagles fans, yes, they won the Super
Eagles
Bowl
fans
last year.
could pop
But
this.
I saw
They-
a comment yesterday calling Jalen Hurts a top 5 quarterback in our comment
come
section.
on,
Like
bro.
yesterday. Like, what are we doing?
We're still on this whole Jalen Hurts being a top 5 quarterback thing, bro. Like, come on.
He's a playoff riser. He rises to the occasion. He's a Super Bowl champion. He had one of the best performances in Super Bowl loss in NFL history. He's just a big game performer, and there's a lot of guys that aren't. You know, you got to respect that.
You could be top 10 and not be top 5.
But
That's how I feel.
we'll save it. But, like, leading into the playoffs that he had performed in, he was playing better in those regular seasons.
Yeah. Much better.
Yeah,
There's room for
the Eagles.
concern.
We'll see. They're probably the most talented team left in it. They're the most talented team in the playoffs, but they don't feel like they're that good. It's
don't.
weird.
Yeah, I feel like this is another type of year where, from a few years ago, they're going to end up firing 2 coordinators. Maybe not 2, but 1. Definitely 1. Patula's getting canned. I think it's a foregone
100%,
conclusion.
Yeah.
I think it's a foregone conclusion that Daboll was going to end up a fucking Eagles OC, and we're just going to hate our lives. Honestly, as Giants fans. That was aggressive. I was going to know.
I mean, he's not wrong. Like I think I said those words yesterday. Actually,
It's exactly what's going to happen, bro.
me and Matt are in a mass Giants group chat.
Yes.
with Steven.
Yes, we
Steven
are.
put us in a big ass Giants group chat.
Everybody and their mothers wants John Harbaugh.
Probably depressing.
I'm on the Kevin Stefanski bandwagon. I can't lie.
I'm also on the Harbaugh, and I'm a Jeff. The discourse was there yesterday on Jets Twitter. Not that anybody cares, it's the Jets,
Yeah.
but we definitely should fire Aaron Glenn for John Harbaugh. Like, it's not even a question.
A lot of people are saying that Bucks should fire Todd Bowles for Harbaugh.
A lot of teams should
Well, I
fire
mean,
their
a lot of
coaches
teams
for-
should.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
this
no, we
infatuation
shouldn't
is
keep
with
Aaron
that guy.
Glenn. I don't think we should do that.
We?
Huh?
I'm not taking you back, dog. Your team's in the
Sorry.
playoffs.
He said Aaron
Deal with
Glenn,
it.
not Matt LaFleur, gang.
When Dante
Sorry,
Moore
man.
saves the franchise,
Old-
we ain't taking you back.
Old habits die hard. Man.
Dante Moore's going to save the franchise.
You're an Oregon
He don't
fan?
even want to be a Jet. Did you see what he posted?
Bro,
Where did he
he's going
post?
back to Oregon.
You're an Oregon
Yo, so he
fan.
posted. He posted when you're 20 years old, they're gonna tell you to go to the NFL
Go to the
and
Jets.
go play for the New York Jets. He said it is important that you say no to those people that say that and turn the NFL down and stay in college. He doesn't want to play for the Jets.
Well, that was
posted
fake,
that?
no?
He posted that.
It was fake.
I thought he actually
There's
did.
no way
Did I
he
get
actually.
memed?
If that.
No, no, no.
I was
I
gonna
think
say
that's
that.
fake.
I got memed.
Yeah.
Sent
You
out.
got,
Man,
you
I
got
got
sent
sent
out.
out.
If you're gonna be the second overall pick in the NFL
Yo.
draft, it doesn't. Like, I'm being a homer.
I wouldn't wanna
But the
be a
Jets
Jet.
have two young tackles. They're gonna have a quarterback, and they have a number one receiver. There's no way that's a worse spot than the Raiders. People are talking about the Raiders like they're actually a good football team. They're not a good franchise either.
No, they're
just in Vegas, so people forget how bad they were when they were the Oakland Raiders.
They have the
They're
GOAT
also
now.
a
They have
terrible
Tom
franchise.
Brady
They have
there.
the GOAT now.
Oh my gosh!
I'd
yeah,
love
helped
to
them a
play
lot
in
when
Vegas.
they took Ashton Genty with the number 6 overall
I'd go
pick.
broke.
That's probably the best job ever. Backup quarterback for the Raiders.
You just get to chill in Vegas.
Who's that?
Gamble.
Whoever it is.
All the
That's
time.
a great job.
Was it
Aiden
Pickett?
O'Connell?
It is.
It was Kenny
it's
Pickett this year.
Pickett
yeah.
this year, yeah.
That's
And
a
then
good job, bro.
AOC's
Good
their
gig.
third string. So
AOC.
Not that AOC. she not lined up on the center, bro.
I know some people that would want her to.
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, no. But back to the coaching talk. I really want Stefanski as a Giants head coach. I can't lie. I really would love that. Do you like, as an unbiased fan, I mean, I've asked on their perspective on this, who would you think is the best fit for the Giants?
I think it's an offensive-minded head coach for Jackson Dart. I think Kevin Stefanski is a great pick. Clint Kubiak is a great pick. I think he's a young, bright offensive mind.
I'm indifferent to Kubiak.
I like Kubiak.
I love Konkubia.
I understand why, because the Seahawks' offense at times has been inconsistent.
Yes.
And with the Saints, injuries happen, and that's why they rattled
Yeah.
out of like the top rankings of offenses. But he started off very hot, so I can understand. He doesn't have the, I guess, the cachet or the belief of like Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen. I felt like last year those two were surefire offensive geniuses that they can turn around franchises. With Clint Kubiak, it's definitely more of a wait and see. He has to do it another year, and then you can have more confidence. Ben Johnson did it for multiple years. So I understand why. I think the Giants, they should try to prioritize building around Jackson Dart. And I think that that's an offensive-minded head coach. But the way that they have,
God bless.
they feel like they're operating is that they feel like they're trying to go for a stability hire.
Yes.
A John Harbaugh, or maybe this is against the grain, but from Jersey, Jeff Hafley, defensive guy to maximize their defense.
Saw that.
I don't know what direction the Giants are going to go in, but if I had to predict it right now, I think they would go with Jeff Hafley.
From
Word.
interesting.
Okay.
From what I'm seeing, like I got the notion that they seemed set on Stefanski.
Yes.
And then Harbaugh became available, and
Yes.
that kind of threw a wrench in everything. And now I think
Now it's
Harbaugh's
Harbaugh
their guy.
Stefanski. Yeah. I think
That's
it's
what
one
I
of them
think it
two
is.
guaranteed. Like, I think
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
guaranteed that it's one of them two. And honestly, I got no complaints.
Yeah.
For the first time in a long time, we'll have stability at head coach. And Stefanski's 2-time fucking coach of the year, bro. How many times do you get that on the market? So I'm with it. A Browns playoff win? Who gets to say they've done that? So
Stefanski.
exactly. So
But he didn't develop Shadar Sanders, so
Right, he's not a Hall of Famer yet, so
yeah,
Bro,
I don't
so
think
he
you
sucks.
can. I feel like you have to knock him for failing to develop
right.
Shadar Sanders.
Can we I know we're doing the playoffs and all, but how does Kevin Stefanski lose his job and Andrew Berry still has a job?
don't even because by
That's
the
just
way,
the Browns being the Browns, right?
the whole
Okay.
Deshaun Watson situation, apparently that wasn't even Stefanski that called that shot. That was all the front office, Jimmy Haslam. That was
Well, there are people saying too,
Andrew Berry.
he probably got pushed from the ownership to even make that
Yeah.
that deal with Watson.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's not on Stefanski.
How does Joe Shane keep his job?
Don't even get me started.
don't
with that either. Harbaugh's going to get his ass fired. Harbaugh. It's going to come down to: do you want to get Jim Harbaugh or do you want to, or John Harbaugh rather?
Well, that's also the tough thing with John Harbaugh is like, does he really want to join a franchise where the GM's on the hot seat?
That's the point. He's going to get him fired. So
All right.
I'm cool.
I'm
with
not
that.
sold on John Harbaugh. I'm out on John
Me either.
Harbaugh.
Yo,
I'm not either.
thank you.
But
yeah, I don't understand the infatuation with him.
How often
It
do
boggles
coaches
my
that
mind.
have been a consistent coach of a team for 18 years, that's not like a normal thing? It's an anomaly.
He
got
was there for a
blessed
long
with
time.
Elite talent
After-
and elite coordinators.
I think for 4 years, there was a 4-year stretch where he missed the playoffs 3 of the 4 years before 2018. Lamar Jackson, 2018, he's a rookie. They are under 500, and then he steps in, and then they finish, I think, 6 or 7-1, make the playoffs, and then John Harbaugh saves his job because of that. He was on the verge of getting fired multiple times. I don't like John Harbaugh because, number one, he's older now. He's 62 years old. You're going to need a new coach in, 3-4 years? I just don't feel like if you're going to go with a coach, go with somebody that you know can be there for the long run, and I just don't think he's that. And then he doesn't call a side. He's not an offensive guy. He's not a defensive guy. What does he bring? Stability, coaching staffs, all that stuff, but that's hoorah, man. Like, Brian Dable, I think, is a better coach than John Harbaugh. I don't think Brian Dable should have gotten fired. Jackson Dart was playing amazing football with Brian Dable. Brian Dable drafted Jackson Dart. If you were going to keep Joe Shane, you should have also kept Brian Dable. You should have given them one more year with an offseason and a draft and try to see what happens. A lot of the Giants' losses this year were one-score losses. They had the lead in the fourth quarter. And you can blame Brian Dable for some of those collapses. It's not his fault Jackson Dart threw an interception to a linebacker against the Broncos. It's not his fault he got concussed against the Chicago Bears and Russ had to step in and they couldn't close out that game. Like, a lot of the Giants' losses, they were competitive against some really good football teams. So I thought that firing Dable was premature. And Dable, he's probably not going to be a head coach this cycle, but he's going to go somewhere, be an OC, be good, and get a head coaching job once again. Like, he's not a bad coach, and I didn't think they should have fired him in the first place.
I think what did him in, though, is his reluctance to fire Shane Bowen. That did him in. The defense coordinator costed us so many games, having watched over and over and over again, week in, week out. Like, just horrible play calling on the defensive side of the ball. And then immediately upon him being thrown out the building, the defense ends up a top 12 unit. Like, you did yourself, you laid that bed. You made it, you lay in it, get out. Like, unfortunately, that was the truth of the matter. You should have fired him weeks before that. And then you would have been fine. You would have probably rattled off a few wins. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. So
I do agree though that how is Joe Shane not out the door with him? Like,
completely agree.
Yeah.
He should have been fired too.
feel that.
But you know what? Here we stand. Just
Here we are.
Here we stand, I guess. All right. So let's do this, fellas.
Yeah, I've had
About
enough
that time.
talking about bad teams. Let's
Yes.
talk about some good teams. So
Except for the Carolina Panthers.
All right.
Well, funny you should mention that because that's where we're going to start. Wild card weekend is this weekend, and in Carolina, the Panthers host the Rams. The spread is 10.5 in favor of the Rams. I'm going to get this started because I assume we're all, well, maybe not all of us, but I'm going to pick the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easily. They're pissed off from losing in the regular season. They're gonna put belt to ass to Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't see a way Carolina could win this
Call
game.
them out.
You were leaning that way on Monday. You changed your mind?
Leaning what way?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Was I leaning towards Carolina winning? No, I just said that they have a slight chance, better chance than the Chargers picking up a win in the playoffs.
Continue.
Huh?
Carry on.
So
Thank you. Thank you.
So my take on Monday was the Chargers have the worst chance to win a game in the playoffs this year, and I said it because of how poorly historically, and I know guys could turn it around, but how poorly Justin Herbert's been in the playoffs. It's just not something we could overlook. How hurt they are in their offensive line. They're on, third string offensive linemen, and I know the matchup with the Patriots is probably the best one they could have gotten. I understand that. But I still also have the Patriots, spoiler alert, I've been saying it for months, coming out the AFC. So there ain't no way the Chargers are winning that game. I think they have the worst chance. We also saw
Crazy, bro.
the Panthers win a game against the Rams in the regular season.
So pick them. Put your nuts on the fucking table.
But it's not about
It's
that.
about your boy Bryce Young, bro.
Not my boy. I hate
boy.
You said he's so clutch.
I hate him.
You said he's so clutch on Monday.
He's clutch.
So clutch.
Bro plays so bad through 3.5 quarters.
Whatever, bro.
Bro got most comeback victories because he's always behind.
Hey, you still got to make that comeback, bro.
Gotta make that comeback. Did you guys see Rico Dowdle's TikTok?
No.
He posted some TikTok where it was like getting so hyped, and the top comment was like, bro's going 20 carries for 40 yards. Confirmed. I'd love to pick the Panthers. I really would. It just,
Stick to your guns, bro. Do it. Do it.
I mean, I got nothing to lose, right?
Nothing.
Everything
You're in
to
last
gain.
place.
Nothing to lose. Everything to gain.
I mean, because if I'm wrong, it's just going to be like classic Chris just trying to make a take. But if I'm right, then I'm a god.
A mild take.
Right. Classic Chris making a mild take.
Right.
I'm going to go with the Panthers, man. They did it before. They're at home. It's going to be loud there in Carolina. It tastes of playoff football for the first time in what, like 10 years? Something like
Yeah,
that? 8 or 9?
2015.
Whatever it is. Yeah. So
Really baited him into doing it.
you baited me.
Nice
in?
job, guys.
Bro, Bryce Young is clutch. All we got to do is keep the game close.
Keep it close.
All we got to
Right.
do is keep it close.
It
Because you don't
gonna
have the
be
most
close.
clutch quarterback of all time on the other side of the ball.
Right.
Yes.
I
All
mean,
we gotta do.
We went against the most clutch quarterback of all time on the other side of the ball in the regular season and beat their ass.
You know what?
we'll
You know what
see what
Stafford said? He said, "I just got to not throw interceptions like I did."
And that's hard for him.
He
No,
does.
it's not. He had 8
has
this
the most
season.
interceptions of all time.
Yeah,
So
but he had
he's
8
in
this
And
for-
season.
Steph
You know what I mean?
has been on a tear, and the Rams have been on an absolute tear to end the season too. They've been playing good football.
No,
like
they
the
have.
last,
Yeah,
like,
I
4
get it. I
weeks.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Nice sarcasm. No, the Rams haven't been fucking perfect. But guess what? Carolina sucks. Their ass, and they don't belong here. They didn't even win the last game to get in. They are trash.
They don't
Well,
even
that was
know.
just because the refs had a fix against them, though.
Okay, bro.
That's
all right.
why.
Low-key, yeah. But
High key.
low-key, yeah. Low-key, yeah.
Joel, what you got?
They're a historically bad playoff football team. A lot of the teams that have been also historically as bad as them have picked up a playoff win.
They
You
have.
think of
about it.
the Beastquake
Yep.
moment, upset against the Saints. I think the Rams are a machine, though. I think the second best team in the NFC. I think that Matthew Stafford over the last 2 playoffs has 6 touchdowns to 0 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't turn over the ball in the postseason. And I think that the Panthers get taken lightly by really great teams in the regular season because they're the Panthers. And that's how they're able to sneak up on teams.
Yes.
But I don't think that they have much of a chance. And a lot of the good situation around them this year has kind of fallen apart. They haven't been able to run the ball for weeks now, and that was a calling card of theirs. They were winning most of the football games with the run game playing well and Bryce Young kind of just being a game manager, having less than like 200 passing yards. But as of recently, they've had to put the ball in Bryce Young's hands more, and not saying that he can't make plays, but he has shown that he can't consistently. So I think with the run game slowing down as much as it's had, the defense being a little bit overrated, I think the Rams easily win this one. I would take the spread on this one. I think
too.
this is a blowout. I don't think that the Panthers have a chance to win this one.
All right. So then on Saturday night, Joel's boys, the Green Bay Packers, head to Chicago to take on the Bears. This should be an interesting one. We've got Bears plus 1.5 at home. Joel, what do you got for me?
It's clearly the Packers. They're going to win this game. They're the better team. I've been dying to see a playoff win for 16 years now. And I think now that
It took a switch up.
I made the right decision. I think so. I think I did. You know, the Jets had a historically bad season, and the Packers, they played well. Like, let's be real here. Let's be real. If they were not injured like they are, if they didn't lose 4 of their top 10 players, this would be 100% of NFL fans' Super Bowl pick.
Yes.
This is the best team in the NFL when healthy. Next year, they're going to be the best team in the NFL without a doubt.
If that.
We don't play under that assumption, right? Because they are unhealthy. The pass rush is going to drop down without Micah Parsons. But what I saw from Trayvon Diggs and what I saw from Barron Sorrell, rookie, on that defensive line this past weekend against the Minnesota Vikings, I think that they are better equipped this time around. And last matchup, they held the Bears to less than 230 total yards. They were better. It took a fluky onside kick recovery for the Bears to make a comeback. And Malik Willis almost beat Chicago on the road. I'm not saying he didn't play great, because he did. But there was a throw over the middle of the field where Christian Watson was wide open that I think Jordan Love makes that play. I think Jordan Love gets that touchdown. In overtime, a fumble cost them a possession, and they were driving. I think Jordan Love doesn't fumble that ball because he has hands that are like glue. He stays strapped to that ball, man. Jordan Love doesn't make mistakes. And last time I checked, Jordan Love has a historically great, statistically the most efficient wild card playoff game in NFL history against the Dallas Cowboys. And when did he do it? As a 7 seed on the road in Jerry World. You think that going to Soldier Field is something for him? Come on, man. It's not. The Packers are the better football team. They're going to prove it Saturday night. They're going to win this playoff game, and they're going to show the world that they can make some magic happen this postseason, because with Jordan Love at the helm, the best quarterback in the NFC, he can lead them to a Super Bowl.
That was a lot
Whoa,
to take in.
best quarterback. All right, I was with you the whole way. And then you had to drop the best quarterback in the NFC line, which just objectively is not even close to true. But
You don't believe that.
No.
Like,
It's closer to true than not being true.
no,
no,
it's
it is not.
But it's not true.
But it's not.
Here's the point.
He's at worst the second best quarterback in the NFC.
Okay, so say that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on
Nah,
that.
he's the best. If you gave him Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, I mean, Mr. Matthew Stafford has the most 1-yard touchdowns this season. I mean, goddamn, you
Throws a
give
great ball.
Jordan Love those 1-yard touchdowns instead of force feeding Josh Jacobs, then he'd juice up his numbers too. Jordan Love was more efficient than Matthew Stafford, better EPA per play, better success rate. I mean, you look at the advanced analytics. I mean, he was a god this season, and he doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. He doesn't have
Christian Watson,
but
man.
he's not Sean McVay. He doesn't have a better run game. Matthew Stafford had a 1,200-yard rusher and a 700-yard rusher. I mean, Jordan Love has been able to produce like a consistent top 10 quarterback without a top 10 offensive weapon in football. And Stafford has 2 of them bad boys. I mean, come on. Jordan Love, he's going to get this done, and I'm glad that he's my quarterback.
Start of this season, though, I will say it only lasted a half the year. Tucker Kraft was the best tight end in football. Point
Yes.
blank, period. That needs to be said. It breaks my goddamn heart that Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons both out for the season, because I was on the Packers before the season even started. And I'm backing off them winning the Super Bowl, but I'm definitely not backing off them beating the Bears. I've said all year, I think the Bears are a fluke, and then the Bears are a one and done. I don't believe in them come playoff time. Jordan Love is going to beat these boys. They're going to the second round at the bare minimum. I got the Packers.
This is a tough game. I told you guys before we started, I fell asleep at my desk last night with the PFF on one screen and every drop back from Sam Darnold on the other screen. This was one of the games that kept me up all night last night. I'm having a tough time picking here. I think I'm going with the Bears. And the reasoning is the Bears are number 1 or number 2 in the NFL in total takeaways this year. They're good for at least one takeaway. Caleb Williams really hasn't turned the ball over. I think he had a pick last week against the Lions, but for the most part, he doesn't turn the ball over. They're top 3 in rushing yards per game, top 3 in rushing grade on PFF, and the Packers are a middle-of-the-pack at best run defense. I think with Ben Johnson, he's going to be able to scheme up some good runs. They're going to be able to control the clock. And really, I'm just banking on hopefully they make Jordan Love make a mistake. I'm going to go with the Bears at home.
To no surprise, I agree with him. I'm also going to take the Bears. I think
What a shock.
the no Micah Parsons is really, really brutal for the Packers. I don't know if they can make Caleb Williams uncomfortable and force him into some bad plays. And I believe in Ben Johnson. I believe in Caleb Williams to be special, be a playoff riser, and they can run the hell out of the ball. They have all the tools of a good playoff team. They can control the clock. They can maybe force some turnovers on the other side of the ball. So I'm going to take the Bears at home. And the tiebreaker is on you, Mr. Wagner.
Make the right decision, please.
If I may just make a statement opposed to them before you
Go
make
for
the
it.
tie-breaking pick. I understand the whole takeaway stat. That is the least sticky and consistent stat.
I hate that you say this, but it was sticky for the whole season.
But that's okay because
So what,
year
we're
over
going to
year,
go
it just
into the
doesn't-
playoffs and they're just going to forget how to, what the ball's going to hit them in the hands.
Here's
and
the
they're
thing.
gonna drop
Jordan
it.
Love doesn't turn the ball
I was
over.
about to say
I
that
know
number
he
one,
doesn't,
and quarterback
but-
play just inherently improves in the playoffs. That's just how it goes. So you're not going to be able to force these guys into as many mistakes as you would during the regular season. And you could pad your stats against worse quarterbacks, like a J.J. McCarthy, for example. So I just know, like, I'm not on the whole, they force the turnovers, so their defense is good. Their defense is not good. It's just not. So,
No, I'm not saying their defense is good, but it's a fact that they force turnovers. And saying it's not sticky is just dumb because we're 18 weeks into the season and they've forced the most takeaways in the league. So it clearly stuck.
Yeah.
but
They say it's not week 4. It's not week 4 and we're waiting for regression.
But that's not
It's-
what I'm saying.
We're going into wild card weekend.
As things get more difficult and the competition gets better, you don't force turnovers like that. It's been proven year over year just inherently that turnovers are not a stat that sticks around. You finish first in turnovers one year, the next year it's like 12th. It's not like I don't believe in that.
Can you not say that about like every stat? Like you play better teams in the playoffs, that's just going to happen. Like the
No,
competition
because
is
I know
harder.
a defense can travel for me. Like if it's an elite unit all around, I
100%.
believe that unit's going to, even if they don't force turnovers, they're stout. Like say the
100%.
Texans, for example, like or the Seahawks, for example. I'm trusting that defense way more than I'm trusting the fact that this team may force a turnover or should force a turnover because they force so many turnovers. So I'm just like, I don't believe in that.
So the Bears played the Packers twice. In the first one, Jordan Love threw an interception.
Okay.
That's a takeaway. In the second one, in overtime, like Joel mentioned, they had a
Malik
fumble.
Willis.
Right, but they had a fumble. So they played them twice, and they forced a takeaway in both games. So you're better
Well,
competition.
the second one, it was a bobble snap by the center.
It's
Yes.
it's a takeaway though.
But that
No, you're right, but it wasn't a defensive forced error. I do agree that the Bears do force takeaways, and it has stuck all year. The issue with the Bears is that their defense sucks.
Yeah, it
That's
does
just what it
suck.
is. Even with all the takeaways they do force and they have forced this year, they are boom or bust. They're either forcing a takeaway or they're giving up a long drive and a touchdown. And that's why the Packers have outgained them in both matchups. Now, listen, I've been called before by Bears fans the best Packers fan in the world because they understand that I'm unbiased and I have comments to prove it. You know, they tell me that, hey, man, you're the most respectful Packers fan I've ever come across. So and it's because I've given them their respect. And what I will respect is the fact that they run the ball at an elite level, which is something the Packers struggle to defend. And in this game, they're going to have Roma Dunze back and their full set of weapons and supporting cast. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend. I don't think it's an easy game for either opponent. It's going to be about which team makes less mistakes and is more consistent throughout the game. Now, if you do, but like Chris does believe that, you know, the Bears can force a turnover, that can be the swing. But we know who Jordan Love is. Let's be real.
There's a difference
We
between
know
forcing
how
a
gifted
turnover
he is.
and making mistakes, and the other team just making mistakes. Like, a turnover stat is not just the defense making a great play, because it is sometimes, but it's also sometimes luck. So that's
Yes.
why it's not a sticky, like, you could
Bears
just
have
get
had a lot
luckier
of
than other teams. That is just a thing. That's a fact. You could just get
So what
luckier.
you're saying is ultimately you don't think the Bears getting a turnover is more so, if it happens in the playoffs, is more so on them as it is Jordan Love throwing across his body like he did in the second round of the playoffs against the 49ers and throwing a pick.
that's the only way they get a turnover in this game, in my opinion. Jordan Love
Well, right,
makes
they have two things going for them. they force takeaways, whether you guys like it or not. I am under the assumption you guys don't like it that they force takeaways because it just doesn't matter. They force takeaways, and they're going up against a quarterback who we get up here week after week and says the one thing holding him back is maybe he doesn't do it that much, Joel. I know Jordan Love, he's your glorious prince, but he makes his mistakes are boneheaded and can cost you a fucking game. And we sat up here all year last playoffs, and the only team that won a playoff game where they lost a turnover battle was the Chiefs. The whole playoffs last year. And I have a good feeling. I have enough to back up that I feel confident that the Bears can win the turnover battle in this one. And with their run game, that's enough to win the game.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Chris.
Yes.
Over under 0.5 turnovers forced by the Bears defense this game.
Over. I'm going with the over.
Matt and Dean, over under.
Taking the under. I don't think they force one.
One turnover. I'm gonna take the over. I would bet they force a turnover.
And with that, who wins the game?
The Packers.
There you go.
All right.
I'm picking the Packers, and I'm boiling it down to the quarterback play. Jordan Love is just better right now.
He's
Caleb Williams' first playoff game. Ben Johnson's first playoff game as a head coach. I think it does come down to those things. I think LaFleur's experience. I think Jordan Love having won in the playoffs before. It matters. It matters. I know we're missing Micah Parsons. I know he doesn't have a number one receiver, but there's enough of those guys out there who are, capable enough to make plays on the field that the Packers, it led the Packers to the playoffs. The Packers get it done. They're going to get it done against this Bears team that's just not there yet.
All righty.
Classic Chris and T against the world, bro.
Wouldn't want it any other way. All right. And then headed into Sunday, this was the toughest game for me to pick. It's the Buffalo Bills in Jacksonville taking on the Jaguars. We've got Bills -1.5, over under of 51.5 points. This is the highest of the weekend. Matthew, what do you got for me?
Bro, I've struggled with this game more than any other. You're so right. This is the most difficult one for me to pick.
That's why I didn't go first.
I don't really think I want to go first either. Dean, I'm going to put it on you.
Wow.
All right.
Pause.
I like Jacksonville a little bit. I kind of hate them still. But
What? How does that make any sense?
so I'll explain to you right now. So I think that Trevor Lawrence has made a great turnaround on his career. I think that he has really come into his own this year. I think their defense has been elite. They've had really, really great weeks. I think Trevor Lawrence has had really, really great weeks. The Buffalo Bills have not looked like the Buffalo Bills of years past. Their defense is shoddy. The offense, who are you really trusting to be making plays on that offense other than Josh Allen? The run games, obviously we know James Cook is amazing. In terms of their receivers, who you're really depending on, I don't really know. Khalil Shakir's consistently okay, better than okay. I'm taking the best quarterback that's available in the playoffs right now, and that's Josh Allen. He's the best quarterback in the playoffs. And quarterback play, in my opinion, in the playoffs trumps all. Trumps all. I think the best quarterbacks come out.
I think I'm leaning that way as well, with just Josh Allen being Superman. I think that's what it's going to take if the Bills want to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen has to be Superman, obviously. The points you said about the Bills not being the best team, their run defense sucks. I feel like we said all that last year, and it didn't really matter. They still got to the AFC Championship.
I think they're even worse than they were last
year. They
They
probably are. I 100% agree with you.
But James Cook's even better.
You have Josh Allen, right. You have a souped-up version of James Cook, 1,600 yards from scrimmage this year or something like that.
You got Ray Davis putting up 150, bro.
Sure, yeah. You got one of the best offensive lines in football. And just the experience, I think, plays a big part in this. Jacksonville, as a playoff environment, doesn't really strike fear into my heart the way going to Mile High would or Gillette Stadium or one of these places. So I think I'm going to take Josh Allen and the Bills. It sucks because I really, 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 really like the Jaguars. And I'm gonna take the Bills experience over the Liam Cohen first playoff game, I guess. It's tough, though.
I'm torn. It's a very, very interesting matchup because The Jaguars have, like you said, Dean, been elite this last half of the season. Trevor Lawrence has been elite. Their passing game has been the best in the NFL since acquiring Jacoby Myers. The Bills, on the other side, are the best pass defense in the NFL statistically. I think ever since, what's the rookie from Kentucky, Maxwell Harrison?
Maxwell Harrison.
Ever since he got healthy and joined the lineup, the Bills' pass defense has been elite. Then on the other side, the Bills are probably the best rushing attack in all of football. And the Jaguars are probably one of, if not the best, rushing defenses in the NFL. So it's very interesting. I feel like both defenses could take away what the other offense wants to do. So when you're in that situation, I guess I have to just go with the Bills and Josh Allen to overcome. I don't feel good about it.
I don't either.
The Jaguars have so much momentum right now.
They do.
8 in a
They
row
have so
at
much
home.
momentum. And I know the Jaguars' run game isn't that good, but I kind of feel like I trust Liam Cohen to scheme up a good run game against the Bills' run defense. I don't know, bro.
God bless. That was my big issue. Like, if the Jags had a very effective run game, I'd probably pick them pretty easily. But they've just been so goddamn good through the air, and Trev has been elite. Yeah, I think it's too close to make a call, and when that's the case, you just gotta pick Superman, I guess. And it's
We all sound so sad.
Because if
The
they
Jags have
played
been
anyone
such a
else,
great team,
I'd
bro.
pick Jacksonville.
It's
They
so
played
hard.
anyone
Yes.
else.
Because it's
Yes.
like, what do I trust more? The Jaguars to put together a good run game against the Bills' weak run defense, or the Bills and Josh Allen to put together a good passing game against the Jaguars, I guess, weakness their passing defense on that side of the ball. Probably just got to go with Josh Allen. I don't know. The Bills have also been really bad in games where James Cook doesn't go for 90
Yes.
plus yards. And I don't really expect that to happen here.
I don't know where I stand. I really don't.
I didn't make
Maxwell
my pick.
Harrison's not playing in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge loss for them.
100%.
Yeah.
I think their secondary is still good enough, but I kind of feel weird about this game, man. Everybody's on Jacksonville's side. It's making me feel weird about the Bills just pulling it off because Josh Allen needs this. I mean,
Yes.
regardless of the narrative that I've been trying to push back against, that I think is just is BS. Josh Allen will be held to a standard this postseason.
100%.
And if he gets eliminated in the wild card round, it is going to hurt his legacy astronomically. When we talk about this game a decade from now, we're going to say, if he loses, there was no other top quarterback in the postseason. You were the very best, and you didn't win. Now, that's different than him showing up, because I think I expect him to show up. And if he shows up, then the Bills have a chance against anybody. I don't think in the playoffs it is as quarterback reliant as we may think. When quarterbacks get paid more money, oftentimes the roster lessens around them. There are some quarterbacks that are able to overcome that. Very few in history. Tom Brady took pay cuts for his rosters to be good.
Yep.
Still, his offensive supporting cast at times because of injuries was underwhelming, and he overcame that. Patrick Mahomes overcame that because he is at worst the second best quarterback in the history of the NFL. If anybody believes Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL, if anybody believes he's better than Patrick Mahomes, then the standard for him should be to carry an underwhelming roster just like Patrick Mahomes did for years and make it at least to the AFC Championship game, if not to the Super Bowl. If the standard, in your opinion, for Josh Allen is that type of quarterback, which for years now, based on the regular season, people have said Allen is the very best.
Yep.
So it is a fair standard to hold him to. The Jaguars have a lot of things going for them in this matchup. Their run defense, they're fifth in rush EPA per play. I think they're seventh, actually, and they're third in success rate after the updated Week 18 numbers. They're first in rushing yards allowed per game. But when you look at their schedule, the best rushing attack they've played all season was the Los Angeles Rams in an overseas game in which Matthew Stafford threw for 5 touchdowns and they really didn't need to run the football. The Jaguars haven't played an elite rushing offense like the Buffalo Bills. The only thing close would be the Indianapolis Colts, but let's be real. When they played the Colts, they didn't have any quarterback to where you were threatened by the passing game. Right. Even with Josh Allen out there, he forces you to cover every blade of grass and forces you to play with light boxes because you have to defend those big plays against Josh Allen no matter who's out there at receiver. You could have Joel Moran at receiver. They're going to play too high on you. It doesn't matter if you got Josh Allen. So that's where I feel like this game is a coin flip. I'm leaning with Jacksonville because I think they're the most complete football team. And like I said before, we saw the best quarterback didn't win last year. Mahomes didn't win last year. Matthew Stafford didn't win last year. With these rosters becoming better as teams have an affordable quarterback to build elite rosters around them, it is harder for a great quarterback to overcome real glaring flaws that their team has. Jacksonville right now has a great offensive line. It might not be the Bills, but it's been pretty damn close this season. They have better receivers. By the way Parker Washington is playing, I think Parker Washington would be the best receiver on the Bills right now.
He's would
not crazy
good.
to say.
No, he would be.
Yeah, the Jags got 3 receivers better.
The Jaguars got 3
4
receivers better than their best receiver.
4.
If you want to count Brenton Strange too, I think Dalton Kincaid's going to make a difference this game, but I think that's fair. They have 2 running backs that are good, and Travis Etienne and Bashal Tunin could create explosive plays. And they have a good defensive line. They might not be able to generate pressure against the Bills consistently because the Bills have an awesome defensive line. But much like Chris used the turnover stat in favor of the Bears, the Jaguars are second in takeaways this year. They know how to force turnovers. Is it going to be an Allen mistake or something else? Who knows? Are they going to force a turnover? Who knows? But this is a team that gets after the ball. They're physical. They have a really good front seven. And I think even their secondary gets a little bit underrated. Like Antonio Johnson was the #1 greatest safety in football this season. Jerry and Jones, Monteric Brown, they're corners that aren't talked about, but they've been really good this season. So the Jaguars, I think, are a more complete team. And then the final advantage, the coaching advantage. I think Liam Cohen is 10 times the coach that Sean McDermott is. I think this game is more about Sean McDermott than it is Josh Allen. I believe Josh Allen will perform. Sean McDermott in the playoffs has not been able to stop top offenses as a defensive coordinator, defensive mind. If he is one of those guys that is supposed to elevate a roster as a defensive head coach, which that's what he should be, that's his forte, then he has to showcase an ability to contain and to neutralize this Jaguars offense. If this Jaguars offense lights up that defense up, which I think is a high possibility, then I don't think Lamar Jackson is the only elite quarterback without a head coach entering the offseason. I think the Buffalo Bills fire Sean McDermott, and this postseason is more about him elevating as well. Because I know there's a lot of pressure on Josh Allen. There is more pressure on Sean McDermott because he could be out of a job after Sunday if they lose this game and his defense performs poorly.
Yeah, I mean, you made the point for me, honestly. This is all for Josh Allen's legacy. And unfortunately, like, that's just how it's going to be viewed no matter what. Even if he shows up and the defense doesn't, we're forever going to hold Josh Allen to the, if he doesn't win one in his career, that was so clearly the year. You didn't have Lamar. You didn't have Pat. You didn't have to deal with the elite quarterbacks of the AFC. Here's your chance. You're the guy. You got to take that mantle and run with it this postseason. So if Josh comes out and plays his best ball, I don't see any reason why the Bills can't win this game. Truth be told. I'm taking the Bills. Josh needs it.
Man, 10 years from now, when these kids are trying to tell us Jalen Hurts was better than Josh Allen, we're going to be fighting for our lives.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, we are. He has 2 Super Bowls. Yep. Guaranteed Jalen gets another one.
Yeah. Chris, you look like you're...
This is eating me alive, bro.
I'm
I'm going with the Jaguars, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
I've said all year, like, this is the year for the Bills, this is the year for the Bills, this is the year for the Bills. I've just been so fucking impressed by the Jaguars, man. They move mountains for me. They're such a good football team.
Like I said, if it was anyone else, I'm picking the Jags. But I don't know. I really feel like it for the Bills.
Like, so Joel, you feel like Josh Allen is going to show up and is going to perform, and it's just not going to be enough?
Exactly.
Man,
That might be the only way it goes. I just don't see Josh Allen having a bad game. There's no way.
I'm with you. I think he'll show up.
But he has to have I think he has to have a great game. Like
He needs to play like
he has
Superman.
performed
game.
at an elite level in the playoffs.
Yes.
And it hasn't been enough.
80% of the time. He is second. I think he's number one all time in touchdown to interception ratio in the playoffs. He has lost.
Yeah.
It is clearly, at this point, no matter how biased people want to be, it is clearly not about him performing well or not if they win or lose. Because he has performed well before, and they have lost, albeit to the boogeyman himself, who gives me nightmares when I sleep, in Patrick Mahomes. But he still has lost. Like, we're looking at the Chiefs game last year. Dalton Kincaid drop on a 4th down. It's always something. The 13 seconds game, it's always something. There are 2 moments where I think he underperformed. I think that's the Cincinnati game, and there have been plays. I forgot the other moment. Maybe he probably hasn't had one really. There are moments where in games he has like folded. Like you think about the open touchdown to Gabe Davis when he missed it and Chris Jones was like in his lap. Tough throw, but you expect him to make that. It wasn't a playoff game, but against the Eagles, he missed a 2-point conversion that would have won them the game. Yep. Those are the moments that will be talked about and scrutinized if this game does come down to a play like that and he misses that play. Those will be talked about for sure. And I think it's fair and it's deserved, because if you hold him to the standard of one of the very best, then you expect one of the very best to make a play in that type of situation. I think that Dalton Kincaid changes everything for them. They averaged 30 points with him and 23 without him. So Dalton Kincaid being back and being healthy is a huge swing factor, because it gives them 2 tight ends that they can utilize, and Kincaid is their best pass catcher. He's the best receiver on their team. It allows them to be in 12 personnel, to run the football, to have misdirection. It opens up their offense entirely. So I think that this is also a high-scoring game. Between this and the Bears-Packers game, these 2 are the clear 2 high-scoring games in my opinion. But I'm going with the Jaguars. I just think they have been a machine, and Josh Allen is playing really well. Trevor Lawrence is playing like a top 3 quarterback in football. Yes. He's not playing like a scrub. He has 18 touchdowns to 1 interception in the last 6 weeks. I think it might be 19-1. Yeah. He is on a tear. And newsflash, breaking news for me, this is my pick out of the AFC, the Jaguars. So if they lose this game, then my pick and my bracket is essentially fucked. But I'm going with the Jaguars to go all the way in the AFC.
I'm making that a graphic, by the way. I'm not sugarcoating that.
So I'm
putting that.
I think whoever wins this game is coming out of the AFC is where I'm at. Yeah. And that's why I still haven't made my pick, and I'm still thinking. Josh Allen's 0-4 in his career on the road in the playoffs, for whatever that's worth. I don't know if going to Jacksonville scares you. 3 of them are against the Chiefs, but
right. That's what I was gonna say. Is like that's where I go back to. Jacksonville's just not. It's not Arrowhead. It's not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fear going away in Florida. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about that. Like any of those.
Well, it
Florida
depends the type
teams,
of conditions, right? Like, if it's I don't know what the forecast is, but if it's raining, it definitely probably doesn't suit Josh Allen and that team. If it's a clear day,
they can run that.
You don't
ball.
think so? Yeah,
they can run that ball though.
I feel like that's better for the Bills than Jacksonville. No, they can run the hell out of the ball
if it's raining and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because I think the Jaguars' run defense is really good.
Fair enough.
So,
Jags also
but
deal
I understand.
with that Florida rain.
If you look at like the actual data and the play types of the types of runs that the Jaguars are great and bad defending against, the run types that the Bills use the most, the Jaguars are actually not that good at defending against. They actually have a positive EPA per play. The Jaguars allow a positive EPA per play when they're defending like inside runs, and the Bills are an inside zone team. Yep. So, there is a lot of there's advantages the Bills have in this game. So I can't just chalk up and say that they're going to get shut down on the ground, because that might not happen. Like, I think the numbers favor the Jacksonville Jaguars can probably hold their own in the run, but if that run game for Buffalo does show up in this one, then I do think that is the difference maker and why they would win this football game.
Are you flipping, Chris? I see you.
For what it's worth.
Tell me what it's worth.
I was going to say, Chris needs all the help.
Please help me.
Yeah.
This is not going to help at all.
Too, but
The money line is dead 50-50 at the current moment.
that was so helpful.
Yes, that's exactly what I needed to make my.
Something
So I'm the
public-
deciding
something
vote.
completely
The public
neutral.
is legitimately split.
So I'm the deciding vote of the public.
Yeah.
Basically,
Not for this.
the
We
entire-
already
yeah,
decided
the
the
Bills
Bills are
already moving
advancing
on.
for us, but
Oh my God.
Honestly,
I'm just gonna pick
I
the
hate
Bills.
it.
I'm just not gonna pick against
Yeah.
Josh Allen. That's the way I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I really, really, really feel. I feel horrible about
Bro, I
it.
need a tissue.
do too.
I'm struggling.
All right. My FanDuel closed out. We were on that
Not
shit so
feeling
long.
great.
Pretty crazy that everybody is split about this game. Legit, everybody. So,
So
Jags is such a fun team, man.
Jags are a fun team. Fun story too. They love being the underdog too. That's the other aspect
Yo, I
of it.
bet your ass Liam Cohen's going to be in there.
They love being the
Pumping them
underdog,
boys
bro.
up,
They
bro.
want everyone picking Buffalo. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna move on before anyone changes their mind. 4:00 on Sunday, 4:30 on Sunday is the Philadelphia Eagles at home against the San Francisco 49ers. We will be at this game.
If you see us, say hello.
Hell yeah. We'll be wandering around Philly. Spread's 4.5 in favor of the Eagles, and I'm picking Philadelphia to move on in this one. I don't believe in the 49ers defense. Bob Saleh, great at getting the most out of his guys. It's not going to be enough. I believe in the Philadelphia Eagles defense for sure, and they made Brock Purdy and them boys real uncomfortable. Seattle made Brock Purdy and them boys real uncomfortable, and I don't think Philadelphia's defense is quite there, but I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty elite itself, and they're the reigning Super Bowl champs, so I'm going to pick the Eagles to move on.
I mean, you could argue the Eagles' defense is the best in the NFL when Jalen Carter's healthy. Like, it's it's that simple. You could argue they are number one. I don't feel especially good about this because I love the Niners. I'm a big Niners guy, and I hate to pick the Eagles, but that's where I'm going to lean. I just don't think that the Niners have enough weapons to make the Eagles concerned about anything, honestly, about anything. Christian McCaffrey is one of one. We know that, but, bro, your receivers are just not good enough. And George Kittle's amazing, but I can't trust it. That pass rush is going to get after it. Brock Purdy's going to be real uncomfortable. I think we saw the blueprint with Seattle. I am
Trent Williams in for this one?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
But regardless, like I don't think the rest of that offensive line can handle Philadelphia's D line. It's a mismatch in every word, and I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm about in the same place right now. I'm going to be taking the Eagles. I like the 49ers a lot. I think it's really impressive what they've been able to do this season considering all their injuries to their top players. I'm really impressed by what they've done. I know their defense really isn't what they wanted it to be and what it should be, but I'm so impressed by what they've been able to do on offense. Christian McCaffrey's been nothing short of amazing. Brock Purdy still proving why he should be in those top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback conversations week over week. I think the Eagles' defense is just going to be too much. I think the Eagles have a Jalen Hurts who rises to the occasion, like we keep on saying. Is he a good regular season quarterback? No, I do not like Jalen Hurts at all. But it comes down to the playoffs, and that man proves us wrong year after year. And I'm not betting against that. I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, I didn't have too much of a hard time with this one. I think it's easily the Eagles. I said a few weeks ago, the Niners, their path is they want to get into a shootout with you and be able to score a lot of points and, win in that fashion. They're not getting into a shootout with the Eagles. Eagles defense will grind this thing out. Hurts and the boys, they'll grind it out. So I'm going with the Eagles pretty easily in this one, honestly.
Man, Jalen Hurts could throw 4 picks and they'll beat the brakes off the Niners.
Yep.
The Niners, they ain't nothing. Great, impressive job by Kyle Shanahan. The defense has too many injuries. The offense is too injured. Brock Purdy almost got sent to the hospital on Sunday at the end of the game when he got sandwiched in between two defenders. The offensive line is not going to be able to protect them, and I don't think he has the arm on the road in a cold weather game to make the necessary throws to elevate that football team. I don't think so. I think the Eagles win this comfortably. The only way this game is close is if the Eagles are trolling. That is it. If the offensive play calling is so inept, which it has been the entirety of the year, that they just cannot move the ball. But if there's any game to bounce back against and to run the football and to really impose your will, it's against this depleted Niners football team. I think they dominate in all aspects, and this is a clear clear winner to me. I think the Niners don't have a chance. They have less of a chance in this one than the Panthers have against the Rams.
Wow. That's saying
statement.
something for sure.
That is
Wow.
a statement.
The public's on San Francisco, by the way.
Cool.
Crazy enough.
Fuck the public.
All right. Moving into Sunday night, it's the New England Patriots in Gillette hosting the LA Chargers. So, Dean, we know where you're going. What do you got for
I
me?
love this.
Yeah.
I love this.
I love this one.
I held my tongue. I didn't say nothing.
Okay.
Because I heard the blatant disrespect that Dean had for Justin Herbert, who's second all time in passing yards behind only Peyton Manning in his first 6 seasons as an NFL quarterback.
We're
He
done with
actually
the
has
regular
more passing
season.
yards per game. Justin Herbert, for you to use 2 playoff games and say, and this guy is historically bad. So one playoff game that was bad. Let's be real. It's the Texans against the Jaguars. They blew a lead as a team. They couldn't run the ball. He had 2 touchdowns, no turnovers in that football game. I wouldn't say that was a bad all-time performance by him. The Texans game, I mean, one of the interceptions was late. Derek Stingley just made a hell of a play. One of them was it was kind
Will
of
Disley,
went through
bro.
Ladd McConkey's hands.
And Will Disley.
One of them was Will Disley dropping the ball, falling to a defender's laps, and then another one was crossbody throw to Quentin Johnson. Maybe not the best decision, but it was Justin Herbert saying, "I trust my 6'4" receiver to give me a goddamn chance, and at the very least, be a defender on this play and not get intercepted." And Lassiter looked like the receiver on the play. You put him in a Chargers uniform, he is probably a better receiver than Quentin Johnson in that game. Like, Justin Herbert, I understand that you could write all the jokes you want about him. The if man doesn't get it done. Let's be real. This season, the worst offensive line play in football, the worst situation of any quarterback heading into these playoffs, still was able to will this team to the playoffs, still was able to perform at a high level, beating multiple great teams this year, beating the Philadelphia Eagles, beating earlier in the year, the Denver Broncos when he was under an obscene amount of pressure. That's what Justin Herbert did. The Patriots, they have had a historically easy schedule, and that is not a knock. That is the reality. Against good opponents, they have played up to par. They beat the Bills, they beat Tampa Bay, but looking at Tampa Bay now, maybe that wasn't so impressive. They beat the Ravens. Looking at the Ravens now, maybe not so impressive. This is going to be Justin Herbert's first playoff win. This is his victory. You can say Drake May is the better quarterback, but is it a gap? Are you going to just disregard Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert is what people say Drake May is now. I mean, Justin Herbert, he was the golden child. He was the golden boy, 5,000 yards, 40 total touchdowns in his second season. That was Justin Herbert. He has better receiving weapons than Drake May and the Patriots. The Chargers have a better defense. They're 9th in defense DVOA, and the Patriots are 25th this season. The Patriots defense don't have a pass rush, being 20th in pass rush win rate, that can disrupt Herbert all that much in this game like the Houston Texans defensive line could. And so long as the Chargers go up against a defensive line that cannot disrupt the game and pressure Herbert 60% or more of the time, Herbert is going to absolutely ball out. And that defense, Drake May's first playoff game going against Jesse Minter, that defensive line, Khalil Mack, Owe, and Tui Pelotu, that secondary, Tarheeb Steele, Derwin James, Don Henley, a linebacker, Dante Jackson, Cam Hart. I mean, the Chargers are winning this game on the road. They're winning this game. Justin Herbert wins his first playoff game. I have never been more confident in something in my life. The only thing I've been more confident about has been the Jets being bad. That's the only thing. The Chargers are winning this. And the blatant disrespect, Dean, to Justin Herbert from you is just despicable.
It's not
you clearly
because it's not
you clearly
just
don't respect this man. You don't respect his game on the field and off the field by pulling
off the field. I respect it. No. I defended Justin Herbert pulling.
defend Justin
We did
Herbert,
defend
I called him a
Justin Herbert
dreamy
off the
dream
field.
boat. You seen that TikTok of the
did,
man, whatever? I love Justin Herbert off the field.
Hey,
On the field,
on
the field, he's a great regular season quarterback. Great. There's nothing to go against what he's been doing in the regular season. Second all time, just thus far in passing yards. I get it, and I think he is a top 5 to 7 quarterback in the regular season. But when it comes down to how banged up that Chargers offensive line is, there's no getting around it. There is absolutely no way to There's no way you get around it in the playoffs. The Patriots have been playing good ball all year. They have one loss since September. There's no shot in hell that the Chargers are coming out alive. They have the 28th ranked offense on PF. There's no way that that bad of an offense is making it out the first round of the playoffs, let alone they're lucky they're even here. They pulled out a few games by the skin of their teeth because Justin Herbert is that good. It's a credit to him that he's been able to will this team to the playoffs. It's not a knock against him as much as it is that offensive line. Their defense has been good. It's just the offensive line, and you need that to win a playoff game. It's just there's no way around it.
I disagree because Joe Burrow won multiple playoff games with an offensive line just as bad. And he won because his defense showed out.
I was about to say that, Joel. Let's give credit where it's due.
And I look at the Chargers, and listen, Justin Herbert is the show on offense. He is a Maserati that when he is on the highway, somebody randomly just like shoots out his tire. It's not his fault. He's driving, he's looking good, and somebody is just coming to fuck it up. But Justin Herbert, he's great. I also don't want to just overlook how elite and fantastic this defense is. This defense is the reason why they won this many games. They forced 5 turnovers against Jalen Hurts. The guy that you say you trust in the playoffs, they made him look like a scrub on primetime in front of the whole world to see. I'm not saying that Drake May is going to play poorly, but I'm also not saying he's not going to play poorly against this Chargers defense. You look at the weapons that the Patriots have, really. Like, I know the offensive line for the Chargers is an issue, but compare the skill position players on the Chargers versus the Patriots. There is one group that you clearly think is better. Then compare the defense to the Patriots. The Chargers defense is better. If we go down the list of the groupings, I think the Chargers come out on top in multiple categories. The only one they probably don't is cornerback room and then also offensive line play. But you look at running backs, Moran, Hampton, Kamani Vidal. I think that's on par with the Patriots. You look at receivers, I'd favor the Chargers. You look at tight end, Hunter Henry's good. I think Aronde Gatson has more juice. You look at
Hunter Henry's been better this season.
That's not even had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, but Aronde Gatson is a dog. Come on, for Syracuse.
Can't argue
Sure.
with that, I guess.
Respect Hunter Henry, bro. Respect.
Gadsden's
Hunter Henry.
good. He's not better than Henry right now.
Defensive line for the Chargers. They got 3 dudes on that defensive line. I think the Chargers defensive line is better. A linebacker for the Chargers. Dion Henley is a better player than Robert Spillane. And then if we just look at the entirety of the secondary, not just the corner room, secondary, it is also the Chargers. I think the Chargers have advantages in multiple groupings. And that's why, to me, I think they're going to win this game. I think they are the better football team.
I just think a position like receiver room is not moving me, when the Patriots have gotten it done all year. The Patriots have a Christian Gonzalez, a top corner in the league. There's pieces on that Patriots team that convince me that they're not losing this game.
But they don't have a Cameron Dicker.
If we're being true,
The Chargers are actually the 28th ranked special teams unit in the
Well, that's encapsulating everything.
It
but
is.
yeah, regardless. I'll say this. Number one, the kicker, is a big time difference. I'm Dicker the kicker, bro. Dicker the kicker's the goat.
We saw it on Sunday night.
difference.
I just didn't think that was going to be like the first thing you'd
talking
lead
point?
your
Yeah.
monologue with.
My monologue starts now.
First of all, let's just give special teams their credit. But go
Special teams deserves their credit, No, I think I'm with Joel. I've said the Patriots are a fluke for a very long time. I was on
You
the
were
Patriots.
on the Patriots bandwagon.
I said that they would be a very good football team this year. I said they'd even win a playoff game. I just think that this is where the whole narrative shifts for Justin Herbert. I do. I will say, though, this is one thing. There is no weapon on the Chargers that is better than Stephon Diggs. Point blank,
Lamakonki.
period. He's not better than Diggs. He's not. He had a worse season, and Diggs was playing 50% of the snaps all year. Just statistically, it's not even close.
QJ shows up when he wants to.
QJ is the biggest hit or miss receiver, I think, in the entire league at this point.
Hampton and Travion basically on par in terms of rookies, and Ramondre has just as much juice as anybody in both running back rooms right now.
Hell no. Vidal has more juice than Ramondre.
Ramondre's been playing great. Ramondre had a great last couple weeks.
He's been playing great, but like in terms of speed, explosiveness, I
Literal
think Vidal has a
juice, yeah. But I'm
better running back, yeah.
Better running back. I'm taking Ramondre and Travion for that matter.
I'm going Hampton.
Over your boy
I'm
Hampton?
going Hampton and Vidal.
I love Hampton. Hampton's on my dynasty team, but Travion actually got the juice. Travion actually has the most juice out of both teams.
I'll say this. I don't think that the Patriots pass rush has enough to bother Herbert. That's where I'm at. I don't think that defense is especially good. I do think that people are just mailing it in with Drake May and thinking that, oh, he's guaranteed to have a great first playoff game. And I just don't think that's the case. Jesse Minter is in talks to be a head coach for a reason. He's been phenomenal this year. I am picking the Chargers. I'm backing off of my preseason prediction that the Patriots would win 10 games, win 11 games, and win a playoff game. I don't think they win this playoff game. I think this is where the narrative shifts. Like I said, I think Justin Herbert gets his first playoff win.
So you're throwing your take out the window about the Patriots. So if they win, you can't get up here and victory lap it.
No. Yeah, no. I was right
That's
about
cool.
half of
As
it.
long as we're all
I
clear.
was right about half of it.
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. No. I was right about half my take.
Wow.
Because
Back
this
it
is
off me,
typical, like, Matt Sullivan cover both sides. So I
Yeah.
just
I
wanted
always
to,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to just throw that out there.
He would.
Yeah.
Literally would.
Yeah.
I
No, I
actually wouldn't
stand-
expect anything less from you.
I stand 10 toes down saying that the second half of that take is now gone. I cannot claim it. It's
Great.
done and over with. I am
Love
on
that.
the Justin Herbert winning his first playoff game bandwagon.
I
I
mean-
think the Chargers are a good football team still.
I mean, you speak about covering your tracks. I said preseason that the Chargers are Super Bowl contenders, but then halfway through the season, I jumped on the Patriots bandwagon. So I can't lose. I've covered my tracks.
Sure.
I'm having a
guess.
tough time with this one as well. These matchups are so good and
Yeah.
so juicy, and there's, like we said it on Monday, I mean, this is best case scenario for the Chargers. It's not the Texans. It's not the Broncos. It's not a pass rush that you really think is going to make Justin Herbert uncomfortable. Also, the Patriots, like you mentioned, Dean, the Patriots have been able to run the ball much more efficiently the second half of the season. Ramondre's been great. Travion got going the second half of the year, which makes their offense much more complete despite maybe the lack of weapons. I mean, the last 8 weeks of the season, the Patriots are by far the most efficient passing attack and then a top 5 rushing attack in the league. Granted, it's versus a cupcake schedule, but the numbers are the numbers.
I'm not understanding.
What?
Patriots are just the better team
That's debatable.
right now. If the Charger, it's really the O line, bro. It's really what it is.
Yeah, the O-line
If the Chargers had a healthy O line, I actually probably would have picked them to go maybe all the
Oh,
way.
I mean, if they had Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, they're probably winning a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
I just
So-
feel like in the game, so with the Chargers, where their offensive line isn't overly exposed, like against a Texans or against the Broncos or whoever, they've been able to win, and Herbert's been able to put on a great performance. And that's kind of what I'm expecting here. I think this is going to be a duel, man. I think the quarterbacks are both going to have great games. I think I'm going to lean with the Chargers in the upset, though. I think that's where I'm going with it. I'm folding on the Patriots.
I want to be on record and say I think Drake May is going to have a piss poor first playoff game.
Okay.
All right. So the ball's in my court, right? I'm the tiebreaker.
No.
got-
Oh,
It's already
Oh.
decided.
but who is your pick?
My pick is the Patriots. I do think the Chargers are a very good team. I wish Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater were healthy. The offensive line is very, very worrisome. I also don't love an LA team going to Foxborough for a playoff game. And I know it's Justin Herbert, and he struggled in the playoffs. He's still an elite quarterback. I think he'll have a good game. I don't think he's going to continue to be this playoff dropper. But, yeah, Patriots at home against an LA team. You got Mike Vrabel. You got Drake May, who's arguably the MVP. I like their weapons and just what they can do on offense more, and I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
It's tough, man.
It's
yeah, I
tough,
mean the Patriots being at home also is something to mention.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it was 3 Chargers? You picked the Chargers?
Yeah.
Okay. So Chargers move on. All right. And then the last game of Wild Card Weekend is in Pittsburgh on Monday night. The Steelers are at home against the Texans. This is an over-under of 39.5. It is Steelers +3 at home. Chris, they graced us.
Oh, you're
Their
making me
presence.
go first?
I have to, yeah. Come on, man. It's still there. I need that
my
today 'cause
God.
I gave my brother mine.
I mean, the Yinzers, Steelers Nation, the Steel Curtain, they accepted me with open arms, and I feel like I'd be letting them down if I didn't pick them here. The Texans also just don't fucking move me. Their defense is great, but that offense just doesn't move me. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this sport. One of my favorite quarterbacks
Yeah, word,
to
definitely.
ever play this sport.
Yeah, you
Aaron
really love
Rodgers.
Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers.
almost spit out my drink.
Going on one last magical run, I'm going with the Steelers.
Wow.
Wow, waving
Wow.
Wave that
it for
towel.
everyone to see.
All right. I'll respond to that. Look, I'll put it this way. I think there is a little bit of magic in the air.
So
Or
much
should I say
magic.
divine intervention, given
Yeah.
someone
Yes.
was throwing holy water on a Pittsburgh Steelers field. But here's the thing. Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter don't give a fuck about divine intervention because they are the demons that are coming to get Aaron Rodgers, point blank, period. The Houston Texans are going to walk the Steelers down. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire after this game. Why? Because he's going to realize that there's two guys that you just can't hang with. There's three guys even. D'Amico Ryans. He might suit up and go back on that Texans field. But no, all in all, Texans easy in this one. I think they dog walk the Steelers. I don't think that offense has enough in terms of the Steelers offense to do anything of note to
Your
to
boy
the Texans.
Jalen Warren.
There's
They're great. The running back tandem is great. Do not get me wrong, but there's no fear in their heart, I could guarantee you, of DK going one-on-one with any of those corners. And then there's nobody else that's beating me. So if I wanted to double DK
Calvin
all
Austin.
game, Calvin Austin ain't beating shit. Not against Kamari Lassiter or Derek Stingley. Miss me with that. Or even Jalen Petrie if you want to throw him in the slot. But no, there's not enough. There's not enough at all.
I mean, that stadium's going to be rocking. Also, if there's anybody I trust to get the ball out quick, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Sure. You think the defense don't know that?
I'm sure they do. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's Aaron Rodgers.
I would imagine they
That's
do.
what he's known for. But what do you think, Tom? I'm waiting.
You're waiting? Okay. It's tough because I also. Oh, God damn it. All right.
It's so terrible.
Don't pick with your heart. Pick with your head.
Why would we pick with our
I
head?
never pick with my head. What are you talking about? I only pick with my heart. That's why I'm second to last to pick My head says I don't trust the Texans offense either. It also says that CJ Stroud has been very good in the playoffs. I mean, he's won 2 playoff games, but they can't run the ball. And you mentioned those 2 game wreckers. The Steelers have one of the greatest game wreckers of all time on their side of the ball, going up against a terrible offensive line. TJ Watt, known for big games, big-time moments in those big-time games. So I think
May I make a point before you make your pick? Maybe it sways your mind. We watched the same game.
Yeah.
How many coverage breakdowns did the Steelers have at the end of that game?
Quite a
few.
bit. Quite a bit.
You think Nico Collins ain't going to take advantage of that?
You think they make the same coverage breakdowns week over week?
Yeah, they've done it all year long.
They have.
They definitely have all.
All
They
year
definitely
long.
have.
The
done that all year
Steelers,
long.
the Steelers defense isn't good, and unless you get out of body performance from them, I don't think they have much of a chance in this matchup. But that's fine. That's fine. Aaron Rodgers already proved what he needed to prove.
Yes.
He went on Cam Hayward's podcast and he said that he wanted to get his love for the game back. His love for the game was destroyed with the Jets. It's honestly, it's shameful. And not only did he go to the Steelers and play really well for them all season long, I counted the games. 9 great games he played in the year of 2025. 9. He outduels a 2-time MVP at the age of 42 on primetime to lead the Steelers into the playoffs after a joke of a head coach in Aaron Glenn basically spit in his face and told him to walk out the door. You're not needed here. Just go away. He crushed him like a roach. You're washed. Nobody wants you. Only to sign Justin Fields to a 2-year deal. He's an idiot. That's what Aaron Glenn is. And then Aaron Rodgers makes the playoffs. It's something that the Jets haven't done in 16 years. Aaron Rodgers proved what he needed to prove already. So, to me, he's stamped. At 42 years old, he had one of, if not the second best quarterback season ever. He clearly showcased he's not washed. He can play hell of a football. And did I mention that he outdueled Lamar Jackson with Scotty Miller, Adam Thielen, and Marcus Valdes-Scantling too. Look at the receivers on the field, and he still outshined Lamar Jackson. We're talking about a legend. And he went out on his sword this year, no matter if he wins or loses this matchup, no matter if he gets destroyed in this matchup and gets sacked 10 times, which can happen because the Texans defense is that good. He went out a baller and a legend. And that's all you can ask from a guy like him who's stamped is one last final year, at least make the playoffs and give yourself a chance. And that's what he did.
Why can't he keep getting stamped? What's one
Well,
more
I think
stamp?
I see where you're going with
What's
this,
one
right?
more stamp?
Is that where
Because
you're going with this?
the Texans defense is too good.
Yes.
You know, I'm not going to be delusional about it. Aaron Rodgers does not have enough help offensively to go up against this Texans defense. DK Metcalf will get shut down.
Yes.
We know that.
Yeah.
He will get shut down.
He will.
They cannot run the ball. Everybody always says Aaron Rodgers won 10 games this year. That was the same amount Russell Wilson won last year. The Steelers' defense was actually great last year. It dropped off this year. This Steelers situation was worse than it has been in years past, and they still won the same amount of games, which I think is very impressive. The defense fell off. TJ Watt was dealing with an injury. The offense fell off. They lost George Pickens, who's a better receiver clearly than DK Metcalf. I mean, Aaron Rodgers dealt with a lot of bullshit, and he still was able to get the best seasons out of Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell's career this year because of his contribution. So, I think the Texans are too good. The defense is too elite. I think that the Texans can score 10 points and win this game. That's how elite their defense is.
Tom, what's your final verdict there, brother?
Yeah,
Think about the good time we had in Pittsburgh.
it was a great time. It was a tremendous time.
One of the
Want
best
you to
times.
think with your brain because you know who should move on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Texans, man. It's the Texans. This is classic Steelers lure you in at the last second.
I'm Lord.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I see that. This is classic Steelers lure you in at the last second, but I saw them get shut down by that Ravens defense for 3 quarters, the half, whatever. If they can do that, what can the Texans do to them? I think the Texans can make Aaron Rodgers' life hell. I do think he can get the ball out quick, but I just don't think it'll be enough. I think Houston moves on.
Let me get that back. I'll give it to you at the
Okay.
end. But I thought
It's
you
like,
were,
wait, it is mine.
No, I know, but I thought you were going to waive that shit. That's why I
No,
tossed it to you. I thought it was going to be like a typical C&T thing.
Well, who are you picking anyways?
I was gonna go with the Steelers.
Oh,
You were.
You were going to, then give it back.
Give that shit
No,
back.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I am going with the Steelers.
Wave that shit, bro.
I think the magical
Wave that shit.
run isn't over yet. I
Let's
think
go.
the magical run continues by somehow, some way. I can't tell you how. I have no idea how.
It's just
gonna
magic.
be really
bro.
hard. and
Sometimes
tough.
magic is just on your side.
the hardest.
The hardest test of Aaron Rodgers' career honestly comes on Monday night against the Texans defense, to where I believe. You know how they say at the end of the Stranger Things episode? I believe
I believe.
It ain't over.
it's not over for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, it is for Aaron. Not Stranger Things, though.
It is not over. He will somehow pull this game out
Yo, get that
and improve
jersey
his legacy.
off the hanger.
It's not a great guy to be.
Oh, all right, let's not get the jersey then.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot of work.
Whatever.
I should have brought my Troy jersey. I thought about it. Anyway,
So they lost anyway. Texans are moving on.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll be on the right side of history. Aaron Rodgers won last ride, and we're on the right side of it.
last
One of the
ride.
best quarterbacks to ever play this sport.
Bro, you hate him.
Do I?
Yes.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
He won.
There are
he
so
won you
many
over on
clips,
Sunday night?
actually.
Yeah.
There are so many clips, actually, of you in the past saying that you hate
Aaron Rodgers accepted us with open arms into his home.
I don't know if Aaron did that.
Yeah, if Aaron met us, I don't know if he'd want to talk to us.
Why?
I feel like he just doesn't want to talk to anybody.
I heard he's a nice guy.
He met with
He want to
Rodgers'
talk to me
realm.
for sure.
He would want to talk to you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we'd bond
I think so.
Bond?
He'll see the clips
over
of you.
similar shared traumatic experiences.
I would probably apologize to him.
For the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On behalf of the Jets.
On behalf.
Apologize to him.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to
Nice.
deal with us.
That's
It's
nice
us,
of you.
not you.
I'm sorry you had
I would
the
tell him
coolest-
you're my inspiration for why I left, man. I saw you leave, and I got
Wait a minute.
inspired.
Wait, we could do that? I didn't know you could do that. I want to do that. All right. So that's it for Wild Card Weekend. So it sets up. We'll start in the AFC. Sets up for the 1 seed Broncos to host the Chargers in our bracket in Mile High.
Broncos.
This is where it ends. I don't think there needs to be much deliberation. We said there's no pass rush in terms of the Patriots that can affect Justin Herbert. There's definitely a pass rush in Denver that'll affect him.
Yeah, I hate the Broncos. I hate the Broncos so much. I just the Broncos in the AFC Championship is just not sitting right with me. It's just not.
Well,
But I picked the Patriots to beat the Chargers for their deficiencies. The Broncos have the tools to overcome the Chargers, so I'll pick the Broncos.
yeah, I'm also picking the Broncos. If I had if the Patriots move on, they would have had this game instead of the Bills. No, wait, Chargers.
Yes.
Wait, no, the Bills.
it
the
No,
Bills
it
would've
would've
had
been-
the Broncos.
yeah,
Yeah,
Wait, it
Bracket would've
reseeds.
moved.
yeah, it would have
Oh,
reseeded.
yeah. So the Chargers are the last seed, yeah.
Yeah, the Bills would have had the Broncos if the Patriots moved on.
Right. Which I think the Bills might move on in that scenario. But for this for the sake of the game, I'm taking the Broncos.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think the Broncos move on pretty easily here.
Joel said the Broncos before.
Oh, you said the Broncos? Okay.
I don't even think this needs much deliberation.
All right. And then the 5-seeded Houston Texans are at home against the Buffalo Bills.
I don't fucking care about what you're going to say.
This
Nope.
is the game I've been waiting for. You've said this whole time you don't believe in the Texans. You don't believe in it. The last 2 seasons, when Josh Allen has played against the Houston Texans, he has objectively had his worst games of the year. I expect that to continue in the playoffs against arguably one of the best defenses we've ever seen. I'm taking the Houston Texans to move on to the AFC Championship.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Back in my day,
Good old
the
days.
Bills, actually, the team that we're talking about here, the Bills.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about the Ravens? The Ravens-Bills game when I picked against them?
No,
Okay.
I could, but no.
I'll do it.
Back in my day,
Mark
the
Andrews.
Bills in the regular season always beat the Chiefs and had their numbers. But then when the lights turned on and they got brighter and we entered playoff football, sometimes you can't even see.
Josh
The
Allen,
Chiefs,
sunglasses.
the Chiefs always did what they had to do and beat them. I think this is a similar case. Sure, the Texans have the Bills number in the regular season.
Sure.
I'm not fucking moved.
Standing still.
Josh Allen, this is his fucking time. He beat his hardest test already, the Jaguars. If he could beat the Jaguars, he could beat the Texans easily.
I don't know.
That's
about that one.
exactly what I was going to say. Like if I'm picking the Bills against the Jaguars, I'm picking them against the Texans.
I said before, if whoever wins that game is winning the AFC, the Bills won the game, the Bills are winning the fucking AFC.
Bills have maybe other than the Broncos the best offensive line in the AFC.
Yeah,
So,
that
like,
did really well for them when they played against the Texans the last few times. That did
fine.
well for them.
That's fine. They can run the ball. They can run the hell out of the ball.
Because you can't chip both, you can't double both. It's not how it works.
No, you can't. No, you can't. But
He talks like he already saw the game already.
I did,
Right.
because I've seen the game multiple times in my head.
it's the regular
I have.
season, bro. You know it's a different. You saw the Panthers beat the Rams. You weren't fucking moved by that shit.
I'm moved by the Texans, though. I'm moved by a defense that is the
Same.
best in the NFL. I am moved by that.
Mr. Moran, what do you got for me?
I'm going with the Bills here.
Let's go.
God damn it.
Let's go. Dean, you pick?
I have the Bills.
Okay. So
For
Bills.
the same reasons. Like, if it's any year Josh Allen were to overcome his demons, it needs to be this year. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
No buts is a shame. Do we want to do the AFC Championship now, or
No.
I think go
Okay.
to the NFC.
so we'll move on to the NFC where with the Packers moved on, right?
Yep.
Okay. The Packers travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks and the 12th man. Let's see, Mr. Moran, what do you got for me?
This is so rough.
Your boys,
Both your boys.
both your boys. Honestly, yeah. This is the Joel Bowl,
But I'm a fan of one team. I'm not a fan of the other team.
right? But
So
yeah, okay.
Sam Darnold, I got a lot of great times with him. A lot of sad times with him.
Yeah,
This is going to be a matchup in which, you hate to see it, but he's going to throw multiple turnovers. The Packers will capitalize. Trayvon Diggs gets an interception. Xavier McKinney gets an interception. I know
Sand them
that
out.
the Packers haven't had the best turnover luck this year, but turnovers can be volatile. You cannot have them and then have them in the playoffs. So give me the Packers on the road. Jordan Love having a great game against an elite level defense that's going to show to the whole world that he's for real. He's stamped. He is going to continue the tradition of the 27-year-old quarterbacks of the Green Bay Packers history. And just like Aaron Rodgers was doubted on the 2010 run, Jordan Love's getting doubted now. Aaron Rodgers wasn't that guy until he became that guy. And Jordan Love becomes that guy in this matchup. They move on.
So you don't think Sam has conquered his demons? You think he goes right back to just a disaster class in the NFC Championship?
Against the Packers, yeah. Against anybody else, no. I think he plays well.
Okay. That tracks.
I think he's learned how to play complementary football. I really do think so. I think he understands that the only thing he can't do with this defense is turn the ball over. Keep the ball, don't turn it over, and let that defense ball out.
They had the most total turnovers of any team on the year?
Seahawks, I believe they did.
So he did a good
The
job
last 3 weeks-
understanding that. He did a good
But that's
job
what I'm saying. The
understanding
last
that.
few weeks have been a different version of Sam Darnold. It's been game manager, make a play when we really need it, Sam Darnold. I think that carries into the playoffs. I think the Seahawks take this one, as much as I hate to say it. Man, I really wish the Packers were healthy because I would have had them walking through the NFC. But
Yeah.
I mean, Seahawks have put up the third most points in the league, allowed the least. Seahawks have been a top 2 to 3 team in the league all year. Keeps going.
Gets emotional.
Yeah. All year long. I mean, I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. As little as Jordan Love turns the ball over, it won't matter. The Seahawks defense is legit. In Seattle, 12th man's going to show up. I'm going Seattle.
I'm with them.
Yeah. I'm also taking Seattle. In the
The
12th
blatant
man, like I said.
disrespect.
The blatant. I just
They
don't
got the
think
horses for the fight, bro.
Green Bay just doesn't have the weapons to go up against that brutal Seattle defense. That secondary is gonna have their straps on.
Hey,
Now, listen, man, I would take Seattle in this game too, but Jordan Love throws 3 touchdowns.
Somehow, some way, if he does, then different conversation. But yeah, I just think that Seattle defense is too real. I think as long as Sam can just take care of the football, which again historically does not do, but I think he'll be all right in this one. I don't think the Packers defense has the tools to make him uncomfortable.
don't
This
have
is
the
I mean, historically, Sam Darnold also in a Rose Bowl led a game-winning drive and won the championship.
That was a long time
He
ago,
did.
but it
So many years ago.
was a long time.
He
ago.
did
Tom
do
was
that.
still wearing diapers.
He threw
Historically, he has the second most game-winning drive since 2024 amongst all starting quarterbacks.
He
Talk about it.
threw 2 picks in that Rams game, and I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback bounce back the way he did.
No,
Ever?
That's
with
because
that-
that's what he
that-
does. I don't get this narrative on Sam Darnold that.
I picked
You
him to
can't
win.
trust
I'm just saying. I picked
Now
him to
I
win.
understand that. It's just there's this doubt around Sam Darnold that, oh yeah, we don't trust him to play well. We don't trust him to show up and rise up to the occasion. If you can overcome the Jets and make it out the other side, I think you can do anything. There was once a point in time that Sam Darnold wasn't viewed as a good NFL quarterback, and now he's viewed as a potential top 10 quarterback. So the same way there's a point in time where he's viewed as a player who doesn't win big games. Last time I checked, over the last 5 weeks, he's won 2 of them bad boys. He beat the Rams. He beat the Niners week 18, didn't turn over the ball, clean game, played complimentary football. He has the second most game-winning drives. People just want to cancel out the games that he actually is clutching. The 3 games that he has not been clutching, they get held up and shown to the world on a big screen and say, this is why he fucking sucks. And then all of the other games in which he has more of those clutch game-winning drives, they just disappear. Nobody cares about that.
But
it's still used as if there's more evidence that he plays well when trailing, that he plays well in the fourth quarter than there is evidence that he doesn't play well in those moments.
I'm with you, but those are the 3 biggest games in his career, you could argue, to this point. That's the thing.
I would say the last year against the Lions, he played like dog shit.
Horrible.
In the wild card game,
He
was
stood no
pressured
chance.
52% of the time.
He stood no
There
chance.
was nothing he could do. I don't think there was anything he could do. So we're really talking about one game that it was really bad choke job from him. The 4 interception game earlier in the year against the Rams, definitely it wasn't the best showing from him.
No.
But I just think that people
Not even close.
They ignore all of the moments where he played well. I mean, last time I checked, Peyton Manning threw 4 interceptions against the Los Angeles Chargers. Antonio Cromartie owned him that day. Peyton Manning has high interception games too. Last time I checked, Sam Darnold is one of 5 quarterbacks to win 13 plus consecutive games in back-to-back years. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold. That's the company that he's in. That's the last time.
And it goes even further.
It's Brady, him and Brady.
Him and Brady to win 14
yeah.
consecutively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Sam Darnold, hey, you can say he's been in great situations. The Vikings went from 14 wins to 9 wins this season, and most of those wins came late in a year. Sam Darnold elevated the Vikings last year. He was a top 3, if not top 2 reason they won 14 games. The Seahawks this year, he was a top 3 reason they won 14 games. It's not like he was on the back burner and he was getting carried. No, he objectively played well. He made the Pro Bowl this year. He's been a big reason why his teams in back-to-back years have won that many games. So I don't feel like I feel like he's more of a bus driver than he is a bus rider. He is not just along for the ride. He is contributing. And let me tell you something. If Sam Darnold shows the consistent version of himself that I know he's capable of showing, if he plays well, the Seahawks are winning it all.
Yes.
There's no team that's beating them.
Joe, it sounds like you want to get on this bus.
I was going to say, this is the same guy that just told us he was going to throw 2 interceptions, mind you.
Are you flipping your pick?
I'm going with the Seahawks. Listen, I was being biased.
Okay.
I want the Packers to win. I want the Packers to win. I'm going with the Seahawks. The Seahawks are my Super Bowl pick. I think they're going to win it all.
I was going to say, he can pick the Packers because he knows we're doing a bracket. We're all going to pick the Seahawks. Seahawks are going to move on. So it's a win-win.
But listen, my unbiased pick, when I drop my individual bracket, the Seahawks will win it all. That is my pick.
That's so unbiased of you. I would never do such a thing.
No
My
shot.
team was in the playoffs, if the Jets were ever in the playoffs, you bet your butts
They're
I'm
winning
not,
the Super Bowl.
not
Bet your
picking
butts.
any other team.
Bet your bus.
That's your bus.
Your butt.
Who are you, Trunks?
You don't
bet
got to worry
your
about that in a
butts.
while, though.
All right, bro. Man.
Can't wait for
Get
the-
Aaron Glenn out of here. Bring me John Harbaugh,
Can't wait for the
man.
Giants to go all the way to the
Man,
Super Bowl next
Bring me
year.
Clint Kubiak.
Let me.
But listen, hold up. If the Jets get good, I can't be happy for them.
No.
He could be happy.
that not
for you
allowed?
guys.
No, you're
could be
off the
happy,
bus,
right?
bro. We left you in 2025, man.
Fuck.
Because Dean Wagner said so.
He speaks for the entire Jets fandom.
Unfortunately, I might.
There's moments where it's late at night, and sometimes you think about your ex.
Yeah.
And there are
Right.
times where I think to myself, man, what if the Jets become a baddie one day? What if I'm like, fuck?
That's like the
I
Green
fumbled.
Goblin talking to you right there.
You
That's
see her.
like-
You see her on Instagram, and she got engaged. You're gonna be like, man, good for her, man.
You're gonna see Dante Moore in training camp, and you'd be like, "Damn, he kind of looks good. He kind of looks good."
Yo, what's your obsession with Dante
I'm
Moore,
just
bro?
saying, man.
What do you mean my obsession? They're gonna take him. What do you mean my
He
obsession?
might not even go pro, bro.
He's
He might be
gonna
Trent
go
Norton.
pro.
I don't know.
You'd
know
be
what I
the
think I'ma
dumbest
do,
person
man?
ever, huh?
So
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm a Packers fan, but I'm gonna root for the Jets on the side.
you got
It's
a
not
thing
a
on the
roof for right
side.
now.
So
Nah,
I'm a root for them on the
Jet side
You
host
got a
crazy.
side piece, bro.
I'll be
That's
honest,
crazy.
Joel.
Jet side host
I'll be honest,
crazy.
Joel. When I was a kid, I never envisioned myself going to Heinz Field and waving a terrible towel. That I did do that on Sunday. I wore a Troy Polamalu jersey and I waved a terrible towel and I rooted for the Steelers. As a kid, watching those playoff games against the Steelers, I never thought I would have done that. But the Jets have brought me to a place where it's impossible to feel good about watching football unless I'm rooting for another team. That's where I'm at. I'm still a Jet fan, but week by week, I'll pick a favorite team that I want to root for that week, especially if we're there. It's fun to root for the home team.
Oh, no,
I
don't
get
think
you.
so.
I get you. You're loyal to your team, as am I with my new team. You're loyal to the team, but you got other teams you like.
Right. We're
the
in-
Jets just might become that other team I like too.
Okay.
That's
I
fair.
mean,
Future.
it's not
That's
fair.
fair.
It's not.
No, I think it's fair.
It's not fair.
If you cut off an entire team, I feel like you forever have to just.
Nah, we've all been there, bro. Where
I've
like
what?
back to the
we all?
We
Wait,
have all
hear
been
me
there.
out. Hear me out. No. You
I've
gotta hear me out. Let me
fucking
get my
hated my
point
life.
across, brother. Like the point about the side piece and the woman. Like
Yeah.
we've all been there where a girl was the main chick and then things end, but like there's something about her where you just keep her around even as the side piece.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
you're
I'm not
right.
talking about football no more.
No, you're.
Like sometimes
I'm in a really loyal relationship that is not a
So
problem.
is he. She just said she go out.
She not watching to an hour, 30 something in.
Watch
bro.
that shit.
No, I get it. I don't know. You like basically it wasn't just a breakup though. Like it was a messy ass breakup that like you can't go back. You can't.
Yo, Joel, and you said you were flipping back if the Packers weren't going to. You went to Green Bay and witnessed them lose, and you pulled a stunt on your podcast, bud. You wore the Jet jersey, and you took it off.
You made a late night booty call to the Jets, and then the next day you were like, "I'm not looking for anything serious." That's what
Yes.
happened.
You posted
That's
so
what
much about it.
happened.
I knew the gimmick was coming. I was like, I know this man's not this excited to be a Jet fan again. And sure enough,
Yeah, it's about having control. You know, it's about it's about it's about
That is toxic as fuck.
Those toxic things.
it's about saying something and everybody is looking at you and saying we can't wait until he's miserable again, and then you standing up for yourself and saying, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm not gonna be miserable.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna continue to be happy and keep moving on. But I'm in the same state. I'm 15 minutes away from where they play.
it's tough.
If
they're ever good, it'll be in
I'm
your
looking at
face.
things every day. I still follow the New York Jets on Instagram. I still do. I still follow. I haven't unfollowed them.
You
just
never
yet.
unfollowed them.
I still follow them. I'm still keeping up with what they're doing. I'm looking at their posts. I'm
Still on Jets
I'm
Twitter?
Still tapped in. I'm not on Jets Twitter like that, and I don't really care to be either.
There's nothing going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people complaining
Probably all
about
John
how
Harbaugh, right?
Todd McShay dropped a report about Dante Moore not going to the Jets.
Nah, Todd McShay's a
that's
bum
all
for
it's
that, though,
going
high
on.
key, for that whole thing. What he was saying
But
made no
listen,
sense.
But I hope the Jets do get good, even if it's not publicly, just know privately. Just know privately. Even if it's not publicly.
He'll be in the Jets DMs.
Your first love dies hard. That's what they say, right?
Playoff game at MetLife Stadium, Jets are hosting. You're going, I assume? You'll be there.
I'm going to that. What are you?
For sure. Oh, yeah,
sure.
for sure I'll
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just got to go for the vibes.
Yeah.
Maybe do I put on a Jets jersey or not? It
Sure.
depends. I don't know. But that's another situation of where people think they have control, and then I go there. I'm in Jets gear, and nobody can tell me nothing because I'm a purchasing customer, and they can't tell me nothing.
Because
God
I'm a
bless.
purchase. It makes sense. I
God bless the consumer.
fully agree.
God bless the consumer. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here.
All right.
Cool.
So, last game of the divisional round is in Philly. The Rams come to town to take on the Eagles.
A rematch.
A rematch.
Revenge. Sweet fucking revenge.
That being said,
The Rams.
also going with the Rams.
It's not that simple. The Rams have been better all year, don't get me wrong. And the Rams did
That you didn't believe that.
what? That the Rams have been better than the Eagles?
All year.
We literally got into a massive
All year?
argument that you felt as though.
Most of the year, yeah. Well, there was a point where I thought the Eagles would turn it around. I think everybody thought that, right? I mean, it's not like the craziest thing in the world. The Eagles, one of the greater full rosters of all time last season. The Rams went to the link and went toe-to-toe to them with them.
They lost by 6
Yeah.
in a game that was
Supposed
a snow
to be
game.
yeah.
And Saquon went for 250 on their heads, or
And-
like 240, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
And the Rams got it.
And the Rams'
But that's the
run
thing.
defense has improved immensely.
Yeah, the Rams' run defense has improved, and the Eagles' rush offense has regressed.
Exactly.
They're not the same.
Yeah.
I don't expect that same type of performance. I think the Rams win this one. I think the Eagles, you can't trust their coaching. You can't trust what you're going to get on a week-to-week basis. And the Rams have the offensive firepower to put up points even against the Eagles' defense. So I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah. I think you have to go with the Rams.
Wow, clean sweep.
Clean sweep of the Rams.
Rams are just a better football team.
All right. So that brings us, we'll start there then. The NFC Championship is in Seattle. Seahawks versus Rams. Wow.
Seahawks.
Tough one. Seahawks. Well, you got the you said
Every
Super Bowl. Okay.
every year, the Seahawks have been the number one seed in the NFC. They have made the Super Bowl. 2007, 2013 or 14. One of those years, back to back. Either 2013, 2014, or 2014, 2015. Every year, they've made the Super Bowl. 2025 will be no different. They're going to make it. They know how to play defense against the Rams. Mike McDonald has a feel for what they do. Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions, then threw 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Each game, he's going down 2 interceptions against the Rams. In the
So
regular
logically.
season. So this game, 0 interceptions.
Right.
In the NFC Championship game. He will play one of the best games he has all year. That Rams secondary is sweet. And I like how they have been able to run the football better as of recently. I think as the year has went on, Kenneth Walker has gotten more involved in the offense. He's creating more explosive plays. And I think that the Seahawks is just the all-around better football team. When we saw Sam throw 4 interceptions and they lost off a game-winning field goal, that's how great the Seahawks team is. Sam could throw 4 picks, and it can lose by 2 points. So you get a Sam game where, logically speaking, he's going to have 0 interceptions just based on the trend. I got the Seahawks winning.
Go ahead.
So I'm upset.
It's a good Drake song.
And I should have thought this through because we knew you were coming on the show, Joel. And I'm so happy that you're here. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. But like I mentioned to the guys,
Pause.
I had a long night last night, scrolling on PFF, of watching some film on NFL Plus, and I came to a conclusion that I wouldn't have made a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. And Joel kind of stole my thunder. And I'm pretty upset about it because I was going to do a big reveal. You know, they say I have mild takes on the podcast now, so I guess it's mild, and I'm just copying Joel Moran. But that's where I'm at. This is the best team in football for exactly the big thing that stands out is what you just said. They've been able to run the ball much more efficiently basically this past month. Charbonnet's yards per carry went up, and Ken Walker's been able to make a big play here and there. Sam Darnold, like you said a little while ago, has went into this kind of game manager mode, and their defense, if it's not the best, it's the second best in the league. And, you know, everyone has this infatuation with the Texans because their defense is so good, and it doesn't matter that their offense fucking sucks. The Texans, dark horse to make the Super Bowl, going to the Super Bowl, going to the Super Bowl. But then when it comes to the Seahawks, it's, well, they have Sam Darnold, so it's not happening, despite them having just as good of a defense and a significantly better offense. And I really, really thought about that point last night, and it just didn't make fucking sense to me. And it made me upset because I feel like I, myself, have disrespected the Seahawks so very much this season, and I'm done with it. The Seahawks are the better team than the Rams, and they're winning this fucking game.
So I think I could agree that the Seahawks are the better team on paper, statistically as well, not just on paper. But the Rams have MVP Matt Stafford playing at the highest level he's ever played at in his career. There's something to be said about that. Sam Darnold, yes, he had a good year. Good. Not great. It wasn't a great year. If you look at the numbers, it was not a great year. Matthew Stafford is the MVP. Matthew Stafford is going to be making the Super Bowl this year with the Rams.
I mean, I picked the Rams before, but I'll actually say a couple things in response to what you guys said before. I know that you said that Sam Darnold doesn't have to play his absolute best and he could cut the turnovers down. I disagree.
Oh no, I didn't say he doesn't have to.
Well,
play
he said cut the turnovers down.
He does
and
have to
good.
cutting the turnovers down for Sam Darnold is playing his absolute best.
Yeah.
He does have to play his best. We're talking about an NFC Championship game.
Stafford just a few weeks ago, and you said that they know how to play defense against the Rams. Stafford just a few weeks ago put up basically 500 on these boys, or 400, whatever it was. He demolished this defense that we consider the best in the NFL or close to it. They don't know how to play defense against this team. The Rams are unguardable. You don't get Puka, you don't get Devontae Adams, you don't have Kyron Williams, and a damn good offensive line for much of the year when healthy. I'm not moved by Seattle. I think all it takes is one Sam Darnold turnover, and when you have the best pass rush or one of the best pass rushes in the NFL, on top of the fact that they're one of the best run defenses in the NFL, I don't fear Seattle. And you play a team 3 times, I think I'm going to take Sean McVay in the rubber match. So quarterback and coaching, I'm giving the edge very slightly to the Rams, and that's where I'm going. I take the Rams.
They're also the highest graded team on both offense and defense. The
Yeah,
Rams.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I am also going to take the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. Basically all the reasons you guys mentioned. You have Matthew Stafford playing the best ball of his career. He threw 503 on the 500 yards, 3 touchdowns on the Seahawks with no Devontae Adams, who's been the best red zone target in football this year. So you get that guy back. You get McVay in the NFC Championship. If you could just rattle Sam a little bit, which again it has happened in recent history. You know, he's gone into that game manager mode. I agree with you guys. I think he could, conquer his demons in totality, but I think the Rams get the best of them in this one.
Lest we forget, too, what it took for them to beat the Rams the second time. It took Zach Charbonnet harmlessly picking up a football in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It took Rashid Shaheed returning a punt, which, totally could happen. Do not get me wrong. But it took everything going right for Seattle to win that football game. So, just putting that out there.
All right. So the Rams move on to the Super Bowl, and then in the AFC Championship, we've got the Denver Broncos at home against the Buffalo Bills. We are notorious in totality, all of us are notorious Denver Broncos haters. Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
They beat the shit out of the Broncos last year in the playoffs. Different team, different circumstances. I understand that, but you give me Bo Nix against Josh Allen, it's just not happening. I don't think the Broncos have the tools to take advantage of the Buffalo Bills' deficiencies. I don't think their run game's that great. I think the Bills can run the hell out of the football on the other side, and they have Josh Allen. And Bo Nix and the Broncos have had a lot of miracle, dramatic wins this year, and you're not going to get that here.
I think that defense is the most overrated in football. I always say every single week, they play bad against good competition. Every single week. And Bo Nix has done more than enough in the fourth quarter to win games. I give him his credit there, but he plays like shit in the first 3. We cannot ignore that. We cannot just throw that to the side. I think Josh Allen, if this is the case, I would have the Texans in this game, but Josh Allen's getting to the AFC Championship and playing against the Broncos. Forget it. Shut it down. Josh Allen's going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just think it's a good matchup for the Bills, right? The Bills' deficiency is in their defense. I think that the Bills have a very good offense because of Josh Allen.
They can't stop the run, but the Denver has no run game.
Right. The thing that Denver struggles with is moving the ball, right? Bo Nix turns into whatever he turns into every so often, and I ain't trusting it. I think Josh Allen heads to his first Super Bowl in his career. Cut and dry.
This is tougher than I want it to be because I feel like the Broncos propose a similar challenge to the Bills that the Jaguars do, in the sense of their run defense is great week after week. I know you say their defense is fluky. Their pass defense, I could get behind calling it fluky. Their run defense has been one of the best, if not the best, all year long. Allow the second fewest rushing yards per game, second fewest in EPA per rush. That poses a little bit of a problem for the Bills. Being on the road in Mile High poses a little bit of a problem for the Bills. I just can't turn my back on Josh Allen now. I've rode all year long. I'd be a fool to change up now. I've said all year, this is the year he's going to the bowl. The stars aligned. No Mahomes, no Burrow, no Lamar. He has to. The Bills are winning this game. I don't love it, though. I don't feel confident in it. I think the Broncos are a bad matchup for them.
I'm going with the Broncos.
Ooh.
Wow.
For what specific reason? Just a better team?
They're just a better football team. We've seen Bo Nix play better in the second half of the season, and Sean Payne is really dialing up his play calling right now, and that was evident against the Packers. He really put that defense in a blender. The Bills, I don't think, will be able to stop the Broncos' offense. The Broncos' offense isn't inept like the Texans. They have a really good offensive line, and they have a really good scheme. And then the defense, I think their biggest weakness is they don't have strength in numbers in regards to their secondary. Pat Surtain is elite, but outside of him, you can pick on multiple players in that cornerback room. So I think the Bills can move the ball against them. I just don't believe that they will be able to consistently do it against this level of a defense. So I'm going with Denver to win at home.
Interesting.
So then the ball game Super Bowl is the 5 seed Rams versus the 6 seed Buffalo Bills. I wonder if that low seeding has ever happened. That's pretty
5 and 6.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
If there ever was a year,
Yeah, I guess so. If there ever was a year, it would be this year where competition is weird. But who do we got? Matt, I'll start with you.
yeah, this sucks, man. Josh Allen's my guy.
Yeah, this is the Matt Bowl.
Matthew Stafford is my guy.
Is Josh Allen his guy?
You pick against
bro,
him.
stop doing
like, man.
I know I pick against him.
You
but
picked
I've
against him
been,
this whole time.
I picked them in the
Jaguars.
Jaguars game and the AFC Championship against the Broncos. I had them losing to the Texans. Regardless,
Like,
It's insane.
I love Josh Allen, and I would love to see him get his first Super Bowl, but the Rams are just such a complete team. This is definitely the best quarterback matchup we could get, though, for sure. Two guys that are playing at top 2 levels in the NFL, you could argue. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this one, but Rams are just far too complete of a team. They have every answer. They have an elite pass rush. They have Matthew Stafford and 2 elite wide receivers, a good run game, all that stuff. So, I don't see a world where the Bills would be able to have the Rams number in this one. I take the Rams.
I also have the Rams. Pretty much for all the same reasons. I mean, the Rams are just a way more complete team. The Bills' defense doesn't hold the Rams' jockstrap. Like, it's just not even close, honestly. I think the Rams are the most complete team in the league. With the quarterback that's playing better than what Josh is playing like right now, there's just no way the Bills win that matchup.
Yeah, I have to agree with you guys. This is by far the most narrow quarterback gap of the playoffs for Josh Allen, and that's that's why we've been leaning with the Bills this whole time. So I have to go with the Rams. They clear them at basically every aspect of football, and then have the MVP at quarterback. So
I'm going with the Bills. This is the year they beat their demons, making it to the Super Bowl. No Mahomes to go through. And they beat their demons from years and years ago and finally get over the hump and finally win a Super Bowl. It's just poetic. The stars aligned for them. Their last year at whatever the fuck it's called.
Highmark Stadium,
Highmark
yeah.
Stadium. Don't get to host a home playoff game, but they went out with a bang, with a big win over the Jets, red helmets. They make it to the Super Bowl, and they give their fans what they've so long wanted, a Super Bowl victory. I'm going with the Bills. And Josh Allen cements himself in the history books.
This would be an all-time run if the Bills do it. I'm going with the Rams. I don't expect them to make it this far. If they do, I'd be shocked. I really would. I just don't think they have the team to do it. But if they do, I think it'd be an all-time playoff run and one for the history books.
All right, so I will ask this. We'll call our shots at the start of the playoffs. Obviously, that was the ball game bracket as a whole. I want everybody's Super Bowl matchup and who their Super Bowl winner is. Regardless of what we just did, completely separate. Where you at, Tom? Who makes it? Who wins it?
I'm here. I'm Bills Rams. I think whoever wins Bills Jags goes to the Super Bowl. I will say that much. If Jacksonville
take.
wins, I know. Yeah,
I like that take.
Great, I'm sure you do. But listen, there's historical evidence.
That's a phenomenal take,
Yo,
though.
Tom, you got the best takes, dog. I love
I
that.
do. Listen, there's historical evidence.
Dude.
I hyped up the Jags in the offseason. Like, it's not.
There is
come out of
historical
nowhere.
evidence.
Right. So putting that out there.
The best takes.
The best takes.
The best takes.
I have the best takes. I do.
That's what everybody says.
That's the
Especially in
consensus.
Pittsburgh, they think
Of the people that have
You're
come
in
up
with
to
the
us.
yins, bro.
Of the people that have come up to us on the street and told us that someone has the best takes, I'm 100% hit rate.
Yeah.
That's not true.
It's not?
The only time anyone's told us about our takes was this past week in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I
when
get-
we're out on the street getting content in
I
Pittsburgh.
get
Yeah,
you
it's
have the
100%.
worst takes consistently. Like
at the bars when we get recognized, I've got that. I have
okay.
the best takes a few times here and there. They've said Dean has had good takes.
I've
here.
never gotten
never
you
met.
have the best takes.
Yeah, never met.
Never.
But-
'Cause I'm
Do it
always
yourself, though.
controversial,
Yeah.
bro.
Joel, these guys are Hollywood, bro. They just go out to the bars just to get recognized. It's
That's
crazy.
not
It's
why
crazy.
I do it.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Why do
And I
do
just
it?
go to
Dean,
the bars to bond with Jets fans.
Dean, you disagree with that completely because you told me a completely different thing last week as
What
to
did I
why
say?
we went to a bar.
What did I say?
Why'd we
I
to
go
the-
out to the bars to get recognized. The fame got to my head.
well,
Why
they,
do I go out to the bar?
to talk to girls that won't kiss you, bro.
All right, bro. That's
Oh my god!
That's insane.
You do a little peacock dance in front of them.
Oh!
Joke's on you, buddy. You already got with one of them.
Wow.
Congrats, big
you.
dog. Congrats,
Wait,
big dog.
I'm gonna send her this clip.
No, don't do that.
Send it,
Don't do
send
that.
it,
Don't
send
do
it,
that.
send
Don't do that.
Yo.
You want to start beef in the group chat? You go ahead and do that.
That's what he's worried about.
Yo.
Beef in the group chat, bro. Grow up.
Oh
It's
my
2026.
gosh.
2026, bro.
Holy shit.
Rams Bills. That's my pick.
So off the rails there. What's your pick, Wagner?
I had Rams Patriots with the Rams winning. I have the Patriots making it to the Super Bowl for the first time since Brady.
I have the Bills, and I have the Seahawks making it to the Super Bowl. Joel makes a good point. Every time they've ever been the 1 seed, they made it that far to the Super Bowl. I still think I go with the Bills, so it's harder for me to pick the Bills over the Seahawks than it is to pick the Bills over the Rams. So
Really?
yeah, I fell in love with the Seahawks last night, but I'm going with the Bills.
One night stand with them and you fell for them?
Yeah,
Nice.
That's all it took.
I'm going Jaguars versus Seahawks, and I'm going with the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. Seahawks
Seahawks would
Super
be-
Bowl champions. Sam Darnold Super Bowl champion. It has a nice ring to it. You
Holy
can't lie.
shit.
It sounds great. It sounds
Sam
really
Darnold.
good.
That
Probably
Super Bowl would
MVP.
have
That would
the
be-
worst ratings of all time.
The NFL does not. I think I said this Monday. The NFL does not want Jacksonville in the Super Bowl.
No.
so that's part of what when it like I thought through my bracket before we sat down here today. I obviously wasn't sold on anything like I told
Right.
you guys, but I thought about it and I said Bills, Jaguars, whoever comes out goes to the Super Bowl. Seahawks, Jaguars is just the NFL isn't going to allow that matchup.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's part of why I send the Bills through.
It does matter.
I
Like
know.
historically, you always need a big market in these games, or at least a
like
big
Buffalo, the hugest market.
Name. No, but Josh Allen. So you're good. You cover your bases. If the Rams make it against Josh Allen, you cover your bases. Speaking of a nasty ass Super Bowl, I'm staying with the take that I had some month and a half ago. I'm saying the Houston Texans make the Super Bowl out of the AFC. I think the Texans defense is good enough to create big plays, and I think the Nico Collins, CJ Stroud connection, or anyone for that matter on a deep ball, all you need is one a game. I'm all the way in on the Texans. And on the other side of things, the Los Angeles Rams. I've been in on the Rams all year. Who hasn't? And I think the Rams come out with that one. They finally meet, the Texans finally meet an offense that can match up with them in every single possible way. And I take Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Stafford is an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP and calls it quits. Hangs it up.
Wow.
I just
Walks
want to
into
point
the
something
sunset.
out. Rams.
Yeah.
Just want to point it out.
All right, mild takes.
Well, we don't have, I don't have the mile take. But, I mean, I do have a mile take in terms of the Rams winning. But the Texans making the Super Bowl, probably the least
Mine's
mile.
even more crazy. The Patriots.
That's not.
Ain't
worse
none of
than
y'all.
the-
You guys don't even have them winning.
That's
the
not
first
worse
round.
than the Texans. That's not worse than the Texans.
He has to have the hottest take. Don't you know?
Yes,
that?
it is. You guys picked the Texans.
No,
to
the
win
Patriots
the first round.
going to the Super Bowl is not crazier than the Texans going to the Super Bowl at all.
Brother, the
I'm saying it
2
is
seed,
crazier.
Man, people
Oh.
think they're gonna.
The Patriots going is not crazier, is what I'm saying. I thought that's the argument.
In terms of us,
oh, sure,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
They would pick
Have
the
no-
Patriots before they would pick the
I have
Texans.
no faith in the Texans making the Super Bowl.
All of them would, I'd assume.
okay.
Would you say, Joel? Where do you stand on that? Because I know where they stand. Texans or Patriots more likely to make the Super Bowl. Even if you think neither can do it, which one would you say?
Probably the Patriots.
Yes.
There you go. You win.
Cool.
You win.
Fuck
Hottest
you.
Good
take.
job. Good job.
Fuck you, Wagner.
Congrats.
Maybe I'll just,
You'll leech
I'll-
off me,
I'll
bro.
leech off you. I'll also
You'll
pick
leech
the
off
Texans.
me, bro.
You could.
You should. You definitely should.
should. I thought about it.
I know you did.
This was a fun one. Joel, thanks for coming on once again.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, fellas.
Let the people know where they can find you.
You could find me at Pick a Side Podcast or at Joel V. Moran. Any of those two sources will do just fine.
He's killing the game. Make sure you go check him out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow us on all of our socials. The playoffs are finally here. It's what we've been waiting for. And with that,
Ball game.